You know, I genuinely don't know how the OTS venue operates on nights like tonight, man. I don't know. Everyone's tired. Everybody wants to go home. Everybody wants to be in bed. But us crazy animals, man, we're up after hours talking about what may very well be the match of the century. Might be the greatest match that some of us have ever seen. Bryan Danielson and Will OSpreay tonight tore the absolute house down in what people are already proclaiming, and there's no competition, match of the year. And I don't think I'm going to argue with any one of those people. Swerve Strickland. He makes history tonight, winning the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And we had the return of the guy that got headlocked by CM Punk. Yeah, that guy. Jack Perry's back. To do what? I don't really give a shit. But we're gonna watch and find out. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse's already at the venue. I think he's got 4 beverages in. This guy's ready for bed already. I think Jesse might have been heartbroken after Matt Hardy was holding up the TNA World Championship last night. We'll talk to him about it. I got my cold beverage. Hopefully you guys got yours as well. Yes, that's a legit thing that happened last night, by the way. What? Yeah. Speaking of what, when I get to the fucking venue, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? Tonight, we drink for Swerve. I'll see you guys over there. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynasty post show for April 22nd, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, joined by my very good friend and co-host on normally what is Wednesday nights for AEW Dynamite, Mr. Impact, Mr. TNA, man. What's going on? The Chi-Town Smart. Jesse, what's going on?
What's going on, man? How you feel?
Listen, man, I got, if I was a baseball game, I am in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, you talking about, man? It's a fantastic.
I'm done, man. I should be on Destiny 2 for the last hour of the evening and then going to bed, man. There I am with you.
Bruh, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Who does not want to start a podcast at midnight on a Sunday night, man?
I don't know, man. The virgins, maybe the geeks. I don't know, man. I don't know.
This is what it's all about, man.
Listen.
What the big fun is.
Listen, I got a job to do, and you guys need to know what happened tonight. Where else are you going to hear it from? Nobody.
Yeah, probably nobody.
Nobody. They're all at the fucking scrum. That's why. We're not there. You know? Speaking of which, Dynamite is on Wednesday. I can't wait to see what happens coming out of this show, man. This was... I don't want to listen. I know people are gonna fucking take me out of context here, but we have a thing here where we call Tony Khan Mr. Pay-Per-View. That still stands. Tony Khan is still Mr. Pay-Per-View. The guy knows how to book matches. The guy knows how to put on a fucking pay-per-view. The pay-per-view always ends up being a banger. But I don't think this was better than Revolution. Not even close. But my God, man. The shit that we saw tonight, some of the shit that we saw tonight will live in the annals of pro wrestling history as memorable until we are no longer of this earth, man. And Will OSpreay and Bryan Danielson absolutely stole the fucking show tonight. We'll get into it, but what a match that was. Swerve won the World Championship tonight, which I know we'll probably start at the top with. I thought this was, before we get into what we want to talk about, Jesse, I thought this was a great show, but not the best that AEW put on.
No, I mean, you're going to be able to say that for every pay-per-view they've ever done except one. Only one can be the best. I mean, so...
I know, well, they have high standards, man. We have high standards for them on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, so... I'm not going to lie, it did kind of drag for me in spots.
Man. It did. We'll get to that. That whole middle of the show was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, did your show over yet?
Yeah, and it sucks because I feel like those matches kind of just drain me for the important stuff come the end of the card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, because I thought about it. I mean, as I'm watching it, and like as I'm just not interested and kind of tired, I thought about it, man. Like this is actually not bad, and I think I'm just tired from like 4 or 5 hours of watching wrestling in one show, man. I think they kind of took a toll at the end of it. So I kind of stopped and reevaluated it, took a different look at it. And I mean, I enjoyed it a lot more than I originally felt like.
Well, I mean, listen, I've been very hard on the product as of late, the last 3 weeks or so. That was a complete deviation away from what Jesse and I had already stated in the beginning of March, where they put on some of the best fucking shows I think they've ever done.
Yeah.
I don't know what had happened in the last 3 weeks. I mean, they had more WWE on the mind than fucking Paul Levesque. But the fact of the matter is, going into the pay-per-view, we were down. It's the same vicious cycle with AEW. Going into the pay-per-view, we're down. We're questioning a lot of things. Logic, creative, what are they doing? Where's the heat? Some of these matches had no heat. And then going into the pay-per-view, we're all down. Coming out of the pay-per-view, we're all... oh my God, this show was great. Oh my God, match of the fucking century. Oh my God, Okada and Pac killed it. Oh my God, Swerve. There's a lot of memorable shit that happened on the show tonight, and we're all happy and we're all excited to see what we're getting. But the fucking idiots out there They don't really question because everybody lives in the moment. Well, they enjoy what you got. But I'm here. I'm thinking, all right, what's going to happen on Wednesday? How are we going to follow this up? How are they going to keep up the momentum? How is this momentum going to carry into Double or Nothing? Because I still have a lot of questions. Jesse still has a lot of questions. So I am thinking ahead. Meanwhile, everybody else is stuck on tonight. And I think that's just the way I operate. A lot of people are not going to look at it that way.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I wish, there's moments when I wish I still had that innocence when I watch pro wrestling where I just, just in a vacuum, just take it for what it is. But when you watch it for so long, I mean, it's only okay. If you ate the very same thing, no matter how delicious it is, if you ate the very same thing for an extended amount of time, you would look to get something better. But even if it's not better, it's different, And when you watch wrestling for so long, it does take a little bit more to stimulate your interest in a match or a show. And unfortunately, that's the way that a lot of us look at things. But it is still fun to sit back and just look at a show and just let it be fun for one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's hard. You want us to consume so much wrestling, in a week. It's kind of hard to just have fun with it every time. You do kind of look at it like, okay, this could be better, and then you get something better, and like, okay, this was great, this was cool. Then the next week, okay, this wasn't as good as last week. It's easy to get like that.
It's just the nature of the beast, bro. We finished with tonight. We enjoyed tonight. Now it's on to the next already. Now we're thinking about now Double or Nothing. And especially it's going to be that way because AEW, instead of their 4 or 5 pay-per-views that they do yearly, now they're up to 9, 10 shows. They basically have a pay-per-view per month. So now it's definitely going to be that way. This was a very good show tonight. On to the next already. Now they got to start building towards Double or Nothing. So we can't even sit and enjoy what we got tonight because it's on to the next, which is why I always question, all right, what are they going to do differently? What are they going to do going into Vegas? How are they going to correct the mistakes that we've seen coming into this show? And how are they going to keep that momentum? So, that's just the way that the nature of the beast is going to be for AEW now.
Yeah, it's easy for it to get like okay. So I remember a time when Saturday night's main event was pretty much my only, consumption of pro wrestling. So when you get that like every 3 to 4 months, something like that, it's easy to sit back and say, oh man, I remember the last show a while back. That was kind of great. Let's see what this one does. And you can just get caught up in that moment.
Yeah.
But like you just said, we got a show on Sunday and now we got a show on Wednesday. That's not even including the Monday night other brand. I mean, there's just pro wrestling all over the goddamn place. So you do kind of look for it to get better every time as opposed to staying the same.
Yeah, and it's pretty taxing on the mind. I know I'm exhausted. Jesse's exhausted. I'm probably not going to get to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning. I got to wake up. I got to go to the gym, and then I got to fucking get ready for Raw. It's like, a lot. It's a lot. What we do is not easy, and we opt to do this. We do. But otherwise, I thought tonight was a great show, no matter how late these pay-per-views tend to go on into the evening. But I will give it to you, Jesse. I'll let you start what you want to talk about here. It was a very memorable show in some aspects. What are you thinking is the biggest takeaway from tonight? What do you want to start with?
Well, the most important part of the show is Swerve Strickland. I believe this is his first world title, if I'm not mistaken. Is it not?
It is his first major world championship. Yes.
Yeah. He didn't win it in Lucha Underground, did he?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So I mean, this is a moment for the guy, man. He has to be very proud. This is the pinnacle of his career, and it came at the right moment. It doesn't feel like it was just thrown on him. There was a genuine want from the fans to see him chase and win. This was the time to do it. It wasn't Wembley, but my God, man, this was an incredible moment for him. This is not the Cody moment, but for him it is. And I'm happy for him. And I feel that joy. It's I think Joe did a great job at making him look good, and putting him over. Joe did pretty well for his short stint as champion. But this is Swerve's time, man. This is Swerve's moment, man. He loved to see it.
Yeah, I agree. Joe, we'll talk about him first, and then we'll get to the man of the hour here, Swerve. Joe did an admirable job as the world champion. I know it was only 4 months, but
I thought he came off as the champion that AEW needed in the moment, while the ace, MJF, is out dealing with injury, and AEW scrambled to get all of their soldiers in order. And with the work that Swerve has put in, I don't think that there was anybody else more deserving of that championship. And it's truly, who has worked hardest here deserves the top spot. And that undoubtedly is Swerve Strickland. And I said this on social media. I know, Swerve has had a love-hate relationship with a lot of the content creators in the community, especially with this show. It was never a case where we did not support anything he did. It was always, we're a fan of Swerve. We enjoy his work, and we want to see him thrive and succeed at the top of the mountain. And what I got out of tonight's show was not only is it time, is he ready, but the ride to get here, Jesse, to see from where he was several years ago in the NXT system, even before that, in his days in Lucha Underground, working the Indies, then joining the NXT system, and then not really doing anything there. They kind of pigeonholed him into being the next Ricochet. And then all of a sudden we see Hit Row formed, and Hit Row takes off, and they are making a major splash on NXT. They get called up too soon, and then most of them are fired. And we're all left questioning what the fuck happened. Why is the system so corrupt? Why is the system so fucked up where a guy this talented is not given an opportunity on a stage like that? Sometimes a stage like that is going to demoralize you. Sometimes a situation like that is going to just kill your spirit and force you to give up because nobody truly is in your corner. And then you're left questioning, who the fuck is with me here? Like, who really wants to see me succeed? Tony Khan gave this guy a chance. AEW gave him a chance. It didn't start off the way that we wanted, but that's the joy. That's the great thing about watching somebody like him reach this pinnacle. It started off slow, and then year after year after year, you've seen him just becoming a better performer. You've seen him putting all the pieces to the puzzle together, and now you see where he is. He took a chance on himself. He bet on himself, and I tell you what, man, I did the same thing, not obviously a pro wrestling sense, but take a chance on myself, quit everything that I used to know to do this full time. I'll tell you what, man, I guarantee you what he's feeling tonight is the best feeling that he's ever felt in his entire life.
Yes. At this moment, everything that he's sacrificed to have his career go this direction, it feels validated.
Yes.
It feels that it's finally come to a head. It feels like he's finally been appreciated. And there is no other feeling like this, man. This is seriously the equivalent of your team winning the Super Bowl or the World Series, man. That you just have that feeling that you've made it to the top. I think it's an underrated moment to see a champion win the big one for the first time because I can only imagine that feeling, bro. It seriously must feel like winning the MVP or the Super Bowl because for that very moment. In this business, there's no one more important than you. Across the wrestling world, everyone in the world is watching you at this given moment, at this given time, win your first world title. It's all eyes on you, and you deserve that moment, man. I remember watching Killshot and Lucha Underground, man. It felt like between that and then between him going to NXT and everything else, it seriously just felt like he was just meant to be just a mid-card guy and nothing more. But it took him a little bit, but he did kind of evolve and get to the point where he proved that he is way more than that. And this is his moment that just justifies it. So hats off to him, man.
Yeah, I am very proud of him. We are very proud of him, and it's going to be a great summer with him as champion. And I'm very excited to see where they go and what he does now to even further elevate his game now that he's finally tasted the gold and is the AEW World Champion. Who is he going to be in the ring with? What's his first defense going to be? Are we going to see Adam Page back? Is it going to be Adam Cole? We'll get to Adam Cole. Adam Cole made a big splash tonight, not with anything he did in the ring, but he is no longer bound to the wheelchair. So we'll get into that. He stood up. I know. I'm sure Britt Baker is very pleased. I'm sure she's very pleased. She don't have to aid in his recovery anymore.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm very proud of him. Jesse's very proud of him, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he does. And we'll get into how he won the match a little bit later on in the show. Will OSpreay and Bryan Danielson. That was the other big match that happened tonight, coined as the Dream Match. And it was every bit of the Dream Match that was advertised before we got to St. Louis tonight. It might have been the match of the decade. It probably will go down as match of the century. It will probably end up being the match of the year. And I'm losing count to mention match of the year and Will OSpreay in the same fucking sentence. I mean, we just got done watching him and Takeshita at fucking Revolution. But if you thought that match was great, which it was by all accounts, it was a 5-star match. I mean, this has got to be a fucking 8-star match tonight. Yeah. I mean, I'm losing count. How many more stars can we give Will OSpreay to hang on his refrigerator, man?
We gotta tone it down a wee bit. I wouldn't give it that much solely because there was no story with it. You know, and the storyline along with the in-ring work, it kind of constitutes the whole 5-6 star type deal. So with just in-ring work, I'm one of those people. I'm not giving it 5 stars just because there was no story. I'll give it 4 3/4. It needs some fucking story, man. Give me the Dream Match. I love it. That's great. But with no story, I can't make it a 5-star match. I just can't fucking do it, man.
You're giving this a 4 3/4 star?
4 3/4. I'm taking a quarter away for no story,
Jesus
bro.
fucking Christ. You know what? Where are you guys in the venue, man?
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Jesus Christ, they're doing the shit out of you here, man.
Well, for what it was supposed to be, perfect. But with no story, it can't be a perfect match, man. It just can't be.
Listen, I in some sense, I agree with you. Where's the story? Great. Yeah. You know, but
I appreciate the Dream Match. I appreciate it, and they gave us everything that they promised. They did. You know, I'm just not gonna go over the star rating scale because it was just an impromptu. We're gonna get this match in while we still can, and let them tear it down. And that's exactly what they did.
All right,
exactly what they did.
It's a fair argument. I'm not gonna zing you on that one because that's something that I firmly believe in as well. Story is king.
Yeah,
so
it's important. And I think 4.75, I think that the wrestling gave it even more because story is worth more than a quarter of a star. Story is worth a lot more, but the wrestling was so exceptional, it still gravitated to get just that short of it. I say 4.75.
Listen, that's just his opinion. You don't like it, go take a walk. What do you want me to tell you, man? It's late. We'll get into. I'm not going to get into the entire match. You guys are just going to go watch it yourself. But we will get into the ending, which left me and Jesse questioning what the fuck is going on. Is Bryan really hurt? I wouldn't be surprised if he is after the fucking match that they wrestled. But it was a situation that made, again, the AEW referees look fucking stupid.
Oh.
And if he was really hurt, and he is really hurt, why did they do what they did tonight? I guess maybe just to get to the end of the match, but we'll dive into it a little bit more analytically, a little bit more in depth when we get to that part of the show. We had Okada and Pac for the Continental Championship. Some people were saying it was probably the best opening match to any AEW pay-per-view of all time. I don't know if I'm ready to say that because, honestly, I don't remember every fucking opening match to every AEW pay-per-view.
Right.
But Okada and Pac burned the fucking house down. I mean, color me shocked there. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. 2 of the greatest on the planet. That was a great opening match. Okada continues to do excellent work as a heel. His heel tendencies are coming out in front of the American audience. I love it. I'm a big fan of what he's doing, and we'll get into that as well. And Jack Perry, he's back.
Cry me a river, bro.
Cry me a river. Jack Perry is back. There was no real glass tonight, but he did aid in the Young Bucks winning the AEW Tag Team Championships, and that smug look on his face tonight. I tell you what, man, St. Louis was all for the scapegoat tonight. They gave him a big ovation.
Look, man, I don't think it's a big secret that I'm a big fan of genuine heel heat. And there is no one in AEW currently that is going to get any more genuine heel heat right now than Jack Perry.
That's a good thing.
I'm interested.
Listen, I'm not going to tell you I'm not because I'd be bullshitting you. I don't see where the fucking interest is in what they did tonight to do what they did 2 weeks ago. Because plus they followed Osprey and Bryan. Yeah. I mean, the crowd was fucking like, get this shit out of here, man.
I'm interested. I am kind of confused why they would sit there and let him get taken away by the cops.
Well, listen, he did rip up his AEW contract, so he's no longer a part of the company.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay.
So he did do that upon his arrival in New Japan. So he was treated as a degenerate.
But they're the EVPs. Like, no. This guy can stay. Let him stay.
I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. Again, a big factor going into Wednesday. What is Jack Perry going to say? How many Punk references is he going to make? How many Real Glass and Crimea River references is he going to make? I'm interested. I'm not going to bullshit you, but I just don't see the longevity in what this is going to accomplish. It may be great for Jack Perry, but for the overall angle, I don't see it.
Yeah, this is going to be what they make of it. It really is, because at its core, there's no reason for Jack Perry to have this much interest, but he has it. We all know why he has it. So it would be in AEW's best interest to just capitalize on it. I mean, just fucking use it. I'm sorry. Just fucking use it and see where it goes. If it fails, you drop it. If it succeeds, then hey, you got a diamond in the rough right out there, man.
I absolutely agree. I didn't think they needed to make it abundantly fucking obvious what they were doing with the goddamn footage. I mean, if they just went about it low key and used that situation to get him over, then I'd be a little bit more into it. But I'm actually pissed that they're so desperate for what they're reaching for. Like, it took away from me. I'm speaking about me personally. Took away from the overall factor of it from me personally. So. We'll get into that as well. And I got to shout out these two guys in the chat because man, you guys have been absolutely on fire. Friday was one of the most unbelievable fucking instances of a live stream I've ever seen in my entire life, man. Thank you for all the support on Friday. And it's starting again tonight. David M., who was a part of the fucking bomb party on Friday, is back on early Monday morning. $100 super chat from David M. Not a damn thing to add, as I don't watch AEW, but I wish them the best. Have a great show. Only one bomb king. David, listen, you're going to have a round of applause for that. He's not even. He showed up, he ordered, and he left. Unbelievable.
He left right away.
And then Orakin with a $100 super chat. He says, we dropping bombs tonight. AEW wasn't lying when they said, we're the best wrestle. We never doubted them. No. We need some MMC, Make Me Care, on the weekly show with LTB. I agree. I'm on the West Coast now, so no more late nights. P.S. Welcome back, Jesse. OTS for life.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Appreciate that.
Thank you guys for joining us on this late Monday morning. We're going to try and get you guys in and out of here in a timely fashion. Camtown down with a $50 super chat. I see you, brother. JD, he says. Thank you, man. I got to shout out my guy, Jeremy Lewis, man. There was a clear as day shot, and I'm glad that AEW production did not take away the sign, because sometimes they have a tendency to take signs away. When Matt and Nick Jackson held up those titles at the end of that ladder match, right behind them, you saw the big OTS logo that Jeremy Lewis was holding up. Shout out to my guy, Jeremy Lewis.
Yeah, they zoomed in twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they did.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you very much for being here. I know a lot of people are watching the scrum.
I know Mike Mansory might get a tongue lashing for Tony for those zoom ins, but
who knows? Listen, they know what it is. I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of you guys are coming over from the scrum, or if you're over there and have not yet gotten here, I appreciate you. I know the scrum usually goes for 2 hours and Tony doesn't shut up. But as soon as that winds down, I know you guys are coming right here. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Follow Jesse on Twitter at Chi-Town Smark. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for notifications. Go subscribe to Jesse's channel. His link is right at the top of the description. So click his name and go subscribe over there. Jesse is now incorporating WWE reviews the next day on his channel.
Yes, and I think I've also decided, in light of the world champion being crowned today in AEW, I think I'm going to do a members-only exclusive video. And I think I'm going to include the very detailed conversation that I had with Swerve Strickland while in London.
All right, there you go.
I never got into it. I never made that entire discussion public. I think I'm going to do it for my members.
There you go. So go do that. Go subscribe to Jesse over there. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. While you're here, we got 2,600 live. Nobody should be leaving here without hitting that thumbs up, man. Let's get to 1,000 likes on the stream tonight. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Please make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Plenty of it. And I did receive in full today the completed Tuesday Night Titans intro, which Jesse has already seen 2 versions of.
Very, very high quality. Very fantastic.
Oh my goodness! I'm just deciding on a teaser song. I don't know which to go. Jesse gave me his opinion. I'm gonna take it into consideration, but we will see what happens. Hooligram has also seen it because Hooligram's been with me for years, so he gave me his opinion as well. So only a handful of selected VIPs have seen this. And
which one did he choose?
He chose number 2.
Oh, what the?
I think Hooligram chose number 2 because he knows it's my favorite band, bro.
Should have known Hooligram's a number 2.
I don't know, man. It's gonna listen. Tuesday night's gonna be big, man. We got the intro all ready to go, and the new co-host is already signed on.
The first one was better, Hooli.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's get into this review. I did not watch most of the pre-show. I did have it on in the background. I didn't give a fuck about the pre-show. The pre-show usually is nothing. We'll quickly just go over the 0 hour here. Trent Beretta beat Matt Sydal. Goodbye. Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata defeated Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Goodbye. And Switchblade. We'll talk about this because this is actually pertinent to AEW television. Switchblade Jay White and the Guns defeated the Acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass Billy Gunn to unify the AEW and Ring of Honor Trios Championships. You know what? Where's the round of applause, man? Because finally...
Wording.
Oh, my God.
They kept saying unify.
Oh, my goodness. Somebody finally got in Tony Khan's ear, man. That little birdie finally got to him, and we now have no more Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships. I want to start, Jesse, with this. Max Caster had a longer rap than usual. A lot of people were kind of disheartened by some of the rap towards the end where Bowens took the microphone. A lot of people are speculating that he's trying to get fired. I don't really know why they would send him out there and he would go off script like that. I'm sure everything was pre-approved before he got out there. Yeah. Is this something that is going on with Max Caster because he's turning heel? Do you see the Acclaimed breaking up and Max Caster going on his own and then leaving Bowens on his own? What do you make of this?
Does everybody know that TK literally has the push of a button to stop Max Caster's mic?
Yes.
He can. So whatever he said, he was allowed to say because they can just turn his mic off, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's out there trying to get fired in that regard because they would have stopped his mic if they didn't want him saying what he was saying. And if they had an issue with him and they thought he might be in the habit of going off script, he would never have been given a live mic to begin with. So I think people are reading too far into it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely all storyline, and I will say this: I enjoy the Acclaimed. I do. I'm not enjoying them as much as I used to when they were red hot and they were the tag team champions and they were feuding with Keith Lee and Swerve over the tag team championships. But obviously the team is not the same. Something has gone wrong. I don't know what had happened. They're not the same team. The heat is gone. Scissoring and everybody loves the Acclaimed was honestly at the time for a little bit some of the hottest shit in all of pro wrestling. They made those pink trio championships for them. They were selling them limited to 10 or 15 or so. And they just died, Jesse. The heat is completely soaked up. It is gone. I don't know what had happened, where it went wrong, but this feud and coming out of World's End where they never had any resolution to what happened with the Undisputed Kingdom. I mean, the creative just absolutely buried the Acclaimed.
No, it's gone downhill since Billy Gunn joined, and I'm sorry, that's not a knock on Billy Gunn, but he is just not the right dynamic for that tag team. The original inception of them was the right dynamic, and plus, it hasn't evolved. It hasn't changed at all either. As a matter of fact, it just got more comedic and cringe with the scissor me aspect, and the scissor me daddy ass thing, and everything became all about scissoring and everything else. It hasn't evolved. It's become about nothing but comedy, and it feels like they take nothing serious. I remember like one good feud, they acted like they were upset and serious, and it got stale. I mean, the gimmick that they originated had a shelf life. It had a ceiling, but it was a great start because they were relatively unknown. Well, not relatively, they were completely unknown when they started in this company. So this gimmick got them on. It was interesting, but it needed to evolve and grow with them, and then it never did. It stayed stagnant. It even got boring, and they added someone else, and that's exactly what happened to it, man. I don't think Billy Gunn should have joined him. I think he should have joined his sons from the get-go to help his sons get over. They needed him more than the Acclaim. The Acclaim were already over.
Yeah.
The Ass Boys went out and got over as heels on their own without their damn dad. They would have been better heels with them. I don't understand the logic and how they booked all of it.
Yeah, and I remember you actually were on board with that same statement. I mean, you've been saying that for months now.
Yep.
It's not like this is something new coming out of your mouth. I mean, you've mentioned that even before when the Guns were chasing the Tag Team Championships, that they should have been with their father.
Yeah, it might sound weird, but adding Billy Gunn just kind of means it's hard to pivot now because him being on was all about that Scissor Me Daddy gimmick, and if they change that and everything else, and they're no longer doing that bit with him, it kind of takes away from the element that was interesting from him in being there. And he didn't need to be there. He didn't need to be there. Those two guys were killing it on their own. I don't understand. They didn't need a mouthpiece. They were already over. Give me one good reason why they needed to add Billy Gunn to that damn crew.
When was that? Does anybody have a time frame when that match actually what was it, like a year ago? I believe it was like last spring around this same time, right? When they battled for the Tag Team Championships. I think I even said it then, and we had predicted weeks leading into that. Oh, this is leading to a Billy Gunn heel turn. He's going to join his sons again.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what pisses me off about AEW Creative. I mean, you got something so simple like that, logically, that makes all the sense in the world, staring you right in the face, and they didn't deliver on it. Like, what the fuck are you waiting for?
No, it all just came off really weird. The way he took the titles off of them and gave them to the Gun Club before the Gun Club was really over. They just gave it to them for apparently no reason. It just feels like for no fucking reason. It really did. Then they put Billy Gunn with them, and they moved into the trios division. They never got those titles back. They never cared about them after that. It slowly went downhill at that. The moment they took those tag titles off of them and gave them to the Gun Club, that was the start of the decline of the Acclaim.
Yeah, I agree completely, 100%. I know a lot of people are upset that Jay White was on the pre-show. Listen, I feel the pain. I understand where you guys are coming from. I can only hope and pray that this is onwards and upwards here for Jay White. He should not be on the fucking pre-show anymore. And Jesse's gonna make a good point, because I'm not gonna steal his statement in which he texted me tonight during the other 6-man tag team match, which we saw on the main show. I'll let him get into that when we get to that. But Jay White and the Trios Championships, bro, I can't begin to tell you how now this should be the opportunity for Tony Khan and Creative to put these fucking titles back on the main stage in the spotlight and put the Bullet Club in matches with teams like the House of Black and other trios that are viable in the division to make those championships feel important once again, because the Acclaim fucking killed them.
Yeah, so the Trios division is a unique tool that can be used for them, because if you have anybody associated with a tag team, just one other person, put that person with them and put them in a trios division, and now it's almost like having two sets of tag team titles. You know what I'm saying? Because you have one division for just tag teams, and if you got a prominent faction doing big stuff, and we already got solidified tag team champions, then we have the trios champions. And those same trios champions, remove one person, can easily pivot into the tag division. So both divisions can kind of rotate and not stay. Well, they get the same tag teams, at the same trios teams. They can easily be moved around. One person, it's easy to associate one person in or out of a faction. Piece of cake. House of Black, BCC. I mean, how many different 3-man factions or more do we have? The United Kingdom, or whatever the fuck they are.
Undisputed Kingdom. era.
Yeah, there you go. United Kingdom. But you see what I mean? You can mix and match so many different crews like that. But instead, what they did was they would focus on either the trios division or the tag division, and then let the other one fall to the wayside. You can't do that. You should be able to. You have plenty of people and plenty of time to focus on both of them equally. I don't understand why one is forgotten while the other one is pushed.
I don't know. I really don't get it. I mean, they got plenty of teams, and this should be used as a vehicle to get other fucking teams over, other talent over. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't understand it. Like, the tag team division and the trios championships went to the tag team division and the trios division rather went to shit at the same time. How the fuck is this possible? I don't know. I never understood that. You know,
because they had the Bucks tied up in the trios division, and while the Bucks are looking at the trios titles, they stopped giving a shit about the tag titles.
Yeah.
Just, we don't care. We'll let Big Bill and Ricky Starks carry them or some shit like that.
Christ, ridiculous. It's just unbelievable how they make these stupid, dumb decisions, and it's just like, bro, why? Why did it even get to this point? Nobody understands it. So they win the trios championships. I'm gonna say this once. I'm gonna say it only this time, and I'm sure I'll go back on that because we'll see them on TV carrying around fucking 2 championships each. They don't need to be holding the Ring of Honor titles. Okay? Whatever you gotta do, throw them off a bridge, burn them, give them to me, and let me run them over with the Dark Horse, please. Get rid of them. There's no reason why they need to be on TV. And while you're at it, get rid of those ugly pink belts and bring back the other championships to put on them, please. It's over. One set of titles and no more Ring of Honor titles. Goodbye. I don't want to see this come Wednesday. Swear to fucking God, TK.
Don't even bring back the old titles. Don't even bring back the old. Like, give us new tag team titles and one set of new unified trios titles.
Just burn the Ring of Honor ones.
Yeah. Well, you can do that too. Yeah.
Burn them, please. So they win. The Guns were in control here. They had 310 to Yuma, all set up on their father, Billy. Match broke down, resulting in White clocking Billy in the back with a golden baseball bat. Billy was dropped with the 310 to Yuma, kicked out, and the Acclaim made the save, took care of the Guns, leaving White all alone. He was in there, and he ate a bunch of super kicks. The Guns distracted enough for Bowens and Caster to be sent to the outside. White wanted Blade Runner on Billy, but again, Gunn no-sold it. Hit the Famouser. Caster at the mic drop. Billy made the cover. White kicked out. And White and Billy tried to finish their attempts until White actually and finally hit the Blade Runner and got the win. And the crowd was very happy because they all felt the same thing that we were feeling. Finally, this is over with. And finally, Jay White and the Guns have gotten rid of the Acclaimed. Goodbye. So that's over with. Let's get back on the right track, please, with this. And the Acclaimed, I don't know where the fuck they go. How do we save them, resuscitate them? I don't know. But Max Caster looks to be acting like a fool. And it looks like the Acclaim may be headed towards Splitsville. I have no fucking idea. Or maybe Billy leaves them and they go heel. I have no idea.
I don't know. But seeing those guys go heel already feels cringe. It really does. And that's weird for me to say. I'm usually always about someone turning heel to freshen things up. But unless they're going to change gimmicks completely, I don't want to see this version of them as heel. There's nothing stopping them. Look, this can be the Usos 1.0 version of the Acclaim. They could go back, reinvent themselves, and come back as Usos 2.0, completely reinvented and reinvigorated. So maybe that could work for them turning heels. But this version of them as heel, I don't want to see that, man.
No. Now, hopefully, there's only great things to come for Bullet Club Gold as the Trios champions. AEW Dynasty starts the main show with Kazuchika Okada defending the Continental Championship with Continental rules in place, meaning no outside interference. I actually quite like that because, AEW doesn't really have DQs anyway. I think I can count on one hand how many times they have outside interference for a match. But listen, if there's no outside interference and we get a clear winner, I like it. Good. It does present itself as AEW maybe booking themselves into a corner where they have two guys that can't lose. But I actually quite like the rules. He defended.
Is that gonna be like pure rules?
Now, pure rules are a little different. You got like rope break limits and
Yeah.
You can't punch anybody with a closed fist. It's not that tight. It's not that strict.
Okay. All right.
So that's the Continental rules, basically taken from the Continental Classic. He is the champion, is Okada. He beat Eddie Kingston for that championship a couple of weeks back. And he defends tonight against Pac in their first ever match. I believe it or not, this is the first time these two are ever meeting. I didn't really believe that, but, you know, it's a great thing to see that these guys have never met once ever until tonight. This was heralded as one of the best opens. Some people said it was the best open. I'm not going to go that far yet because I don't really have a list of opening matches in 5 years of AEW pay-per-view, but this was absolutely one of the best opens to any AEW pay-per-view. I love the work Okada is doing right now. I know he hasn't really made much of a difference for the overall show, ratings-wise. There's, not really any interest or any added interest to the show because Okada's there. To people like us, sure, but the overall casual audience, no. Okada is doing some great work. Jesse and I have documented that over the last several weeks. We think the Young Bucks have been doing great work, whether you like them or not, up until the Jack Perry CM Punk shit that was aired a couple of weeks back. I thought that they were doing some great shit. Okada being added was great. Them getting rid of Kenny and firing Kenny from the Elite was great. Them suspending Paige indefinitely was great. The likelihood of them adding Jack Perry, which Jesse and I called out weeks before it actually happened, was potentially going to be great. I love it. And then Pac, on the other hand, he is tremendous. He's one of the best that the industry has. Pound for pound in that ring when the bell rings. It is very difficult to fucking find anything wrong with Pac. I mean, he's as near perfect as you could be as a pro wrestler. Okada, going back to him, Jesse, the way the fans love him, they appreciate his pro wrestling ability. They love what he brings to the table, and then he flips it like that. He gets the people to hate him quickly. He gave the St. Louis crowd the fingers tonight, told them to fuck off, and he was genuinely getting that genuine heel heat. And I thought this was magic. I thought this was an incredible match.
Yeah, he didn't do his Rainmaker zoom out. He said, "Fuck you guys, you don't get it." That was a nice little touch. It's remind people that he's heel. As far as being like the greatest opening match ever, I think people need to relax a little bit. Whenever they watch something that was fantastic, phenomenal, great stuff,
it's the best ever.
People try to make it one of the best ever of something. Like relax, man. You're hyped up. You probably had a couple of drinks in you wherever you are watching, and I mean, it was good. Okay, let time dictate to us if it was one of the best evers. Come the end of the year, we might even forget that match. I mean, it was great. It was very good, but I hate that this is one of the quote unquote insert this ever. I'm like, look, I don't know about that. All right. You seem to say that every goddamn pay-per-view. This was the biggest WrestleMania ever. Didn't you say that last year?
Well, I mean, they got the number. Look, to be fair, they got the number figures to prove it. So, I mean, honestly, with everything that happened, it was. So
next year, I expect them to say this is the second greatest WrestleMania ever. Not as good as last year's, but it was really good.
Well, we're gonna get Rock and Roman. I mean, they're gonna shatter their own records this year.
I guess, man. I mean, you might be right some of the time, but I can promise you, not everything you think was the best ever was always the best ever.
No, it's like when a band comes out and says, "Oh, this is our greatest album ever," like 12 albums in. I'm like, what? Like, is it better than your debut album? Probably not.
I mean,
probably not. How many records are the greatest of all time, especially in my genre? Oh, this is the heaviest record we've ever done. I'm like, really?
Like, bro,
what?
Who has ever come out and say this album is definitely not as good as the one we did 2 albums ago, but it's all right though?
No, it's called generating interest and generating buzz because they want you to buy the new album. That's all it is.
It was good. It was a great match. Was it the greatest opening ever? I don't know, man. I have to go back and review all of the opening matches just to try to prove or disprove that point, which does not seem like it's worth it. So let's just leave it as it was a really good opening match.
Yeah, this was definitely one of the best opens that AEW's had. No doubt about it. Like Jesse said, let time dictate if this is going to be the best ever. But it was absolutely fantastic. Jim Ross was on commentary for this, and he sounded very energized tonight. He sounded very good on commentary, so it's good to see JR back in good health.
Yes.
And we're not going to go over everything that happened on this show because this basically went on for half an hour. I'm not sitting here going over fucking wrestling moves for half an hour because it's late. So we'll get right to the end here, okay? So Pac is at the end here. He charged and he suffered an air raid crash on the knee of Okada. Okada connected with a top rope elbow, which led to a fake out Rainmaker pose that Jesse talked about just seconds ago. He gave the finger instead. We didn't see the zoom out of the camera. And then he flipped the crowd off. Pac nearly got a flash roll-up as a result of this. He threw a quick super kick and a lariat before a deadlift German that Pac hit on Okada netted him a 2 count. So Pac wanted the Black Arrow. He crashed and burned. Okada dropped him with a tombstone pile driver. Pac turned a Rainmaker attempt into a cradle for 2 and a victory roll before sinking in a crucifix brutalizer, which looked great. Okada then gouged the eyes. He tried for another tombstone. Pac reversed it into one of his own. Pac went for the top, and Okada grabbed the leg of referee Paul Turner. Pac tried for the Black Arrow, and this was my first oh shit moment of the night. I don't know if you caught this, Jesse, but Pac came off the top rope with the Black Arrow, and when Okada got the knees up, my God, the tip of Okada's knee nailed Pac right in the jaw. You've seen Pac immediately clutch his jaw. I don't know if he broke a jaw or fractured a jaw, broke a nose. Holy shit. Was that brutal?
Yeah, I was watching that. Pac immediately sold it. So I was like, oh shit, no. But then he didn't sell it again after that. So I'm hoping that it was fine. But that is scary. Whenever you guys, when you watch Pac go up top and get ready for that Black Arrow, I want you to pay attention to the concentration and the patience he has before he does it, and then watch his execution.
Yeah.
It is literally an absolute thing of beauty. I don't think I've ever seen him botch that move. He takes his time and he makes sure he's certain, because a small botch in timing, he could really land on someone the very wrong way or himself, and someone can get really hurt. But this guy is so clean with it, man. He is so clean with that Black Arrow, and I love watching him perform it every time.
Yeah, that was, it's always a thing of beauty when he does it. And this one, he attempted it, and it came down right on Okada's knee, the point of his knee right in the jaw. After that, he did Okada on a Rainmaker, and that was basically it. 1, 2, 3, and he retains the Continental Championship. Okada made his way to the back, and Pac stood up in the ring, and this man received a standing ovation in front of 7,000 fans, with the fans chanting, "He's our bastard." And I don't think Pac has ever gotten a standing ovation like that, but Jesus Christ, man, if you talk about something that is long overdue, I mean, fans are, I'm surprised it took this long, finally starting to come around on Pac and how great he is, man. I mean, this guy deserves all the flowers that you could fucking throw at him, man. I hope that they truly have something for him moving on, because the reaction tonight from this fan base, clearly they want more Pac.
Yeah. I could see him going on a no nonsense, fucking all super badass tough guy babyface run.
Yeah.
You know, not just like a Steve Austin, but in the vein of Steve Austin, where, you know, you don't shake hands and kiss babies. You go out there and you whoop ass, and you go out there and pose with the crowd, and then you go home. You know, that's all a lot of people want to see. They want to see people whip ass, you know, and I could see him doing that. I wouldn't change a thing about his gimmick. Keep everything the same. Don't change shit, but make him a baby face, you know, and just have him face heels and just have him do Pac shit. And that could be a championship Pac right there, man.
It could. I don't know if we'll see this match again somewhere down the line. I wouldn't do it and rush into it so quickly again after we just saw it tonight. The perfect destination for something like this to happen again, if Pac can remain healthy. And I'm long booking this because that's what I do, and that's what I'm kind of in the realm of. I love long-term vision, long-term booking. I would love to see Pac, if he can stay healthy, Jesse, be in the Continental Classic, and Pac and Okada meet in the Continental Classic again a couple of times, and it'll come down to that for the championship. Maybe Pac wins it then.
There you go. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Tony Khan says Mercedes is not cleared in the media scrum.
I don't believe it.
Well, my question, a follow-up question to TK would be, then how exactly is she the number one contender at Double or Nothing?
Who asked that question, and why wasn't that follow-up question asked?
How exactly is she above some of your abled and willing women out there who are ready to compete?
See?
How is she above them?
This is why I don't know why we're not in the scrum, really. Why we don't get invites. I mean, well, she's not medically cleared. Even without a microphone in my face. I'm like, well, why is she the number one contender then?
Why is she the number one contender? That's it. Simple. She's on TV. That's awesome. That's good. Get her on TV.
I don't listen,
but
man.
Number one contender, and she's still hurt.
They're blowing smoke up your ass, man. I mean, who knows? Maybe Mercedes doesn't want to wrestle until a pay-per-view. Maybe she doesn't want to wrestle till Vegas. But is she injured to a point where she can't have a full-fledged match? On night one, she came in doing her finish, taking bumps. What the fuck are you talking about? She did her finish in the middle of the ring. It's not some fucking rinky-dink finish either. It's a full-body impact finish.
He said she'll be cleared by Double or Nothing.
Sure,
then great. Then she can start contending to be number one contender one day.
Sure thing. Don't believe that for a single solitary. And I love Mercedes. So does Jack. I don't believe her for a second.
No. I mean, dude, it makes no. In one breath, he told us there's a ranking system. In the next breath, he told us Mercedes is the number one goddamn contender, and she hasn't had a match. Please explain.
I don't know. We'll get to it because she was on the show tonight. 6-man tag team match. House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. They wrestled TNT champion Adam Copeland, New Japan strong openweight champion Eddie Kingston, and the ROH champion Mark Briscoe. This was a very good match, and I liked a lot of what we saw here, including the ending, which I have a couple of questions about. And it sets up the next TNT title program. So all in all, I thought this was a very effective 6-man tag. It may actually do more than that. You know, not just the TNT championship. We may see the House of Black target all these championships at some point or another. I will let you lead off with what you texted me, Jesse, because I know we just got done talking about the Bullet Club Gold winning the Trios Championships, and then we see this Trios match on the show. Why did you have a problem with this being on the main card and not on a regular TV show, and then that one being on the pre-show?
So we have not one, but two sets of champions. We have the ROH Trios champions. We have the AEW Trios champions. And they're competing in a match, not an exhibition, not just a match just for funsies. They're competing in a unification match. That means whoever wins this match is going to be the god role of Trios champions in AEW. Great. Why is that match on the pre-show and a regular standard Trios match is on the main show? So what you're telling us is that the titles mean absolutely nothing. Both teams are nothing compared to the two teams that we have on the main show. And the two teams on the pre-show are both champions. How does that make any sense at all?
I don't know. The title should be positioned better than that.
Nothing.
They should be positioned better than that, for sure. I mean, just by, it's perception. I say perception is key all the time. It's like, you want us to feel like the championships are important, yet this match is on the show, and those titles are nowhere on the main show. So they're on the pre-show, but this match is on the main show. I get this one has bigger talent in it, but why are the Trio Championships so decrepit? Why are they so useless and worthless? Like, they should be on the main show along with with teams like this. Seriously.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's the correct way to book it because the two teams on the show are a way more interesting matchup. But why did you let these titles get so lame to the point where you can just throw them on the pre-show as a unification match and no one cares or gives a shit? No one is saying, oh, we want to see this in the main card. Like, no, it can stay there. That's fine. That's okay. Like, why are they that unimportant? What did you guys do to these fucking titles?
I don't know.
At the very least, you could have got this number one contendership match between the two teams that were on the show You could have gotten that out on the go home show or something like that and had the unified teams defend against these. It's about making the titles important. And when you throw two teams that are both champions on a pre-show in a unification match, you just told us that these titles don't mean shit.
Yeah, I agree. And hopefully they make a swift change and start making the Trios Championships feel important, because I do think that they have some value with the amount of sheer roster you have. That could be a vehicle to get other teams over that are just transitioning into the tag team division, start them out as trios, maybe break them away into a two-team tag team or two-man tag team, and bring some prestige to the overall tag team division. I hope that's the case for those Trios Championships. But the match here, Mark Briscoe teaming with Eddie Kingston and Adam Copeland. It looks like a fucking thrown-together tag team that Tony Khan ripped out of a hat. I get it. But Briscoe's been engaged in a feud with the House of Black. Briscoe rather interfered in the House of Black's AEW Tag Team Championship tournament match, which cost them the tournament. They were going to be in a tag team tournament. They got ousted because of Mark Briscoe. At the same time, they were also engaged in a rivalry where Briscoe and Eddie Kingston over the Ring of Honor Championship. So Briscoe won that at Supercard of Honor over WrestleMania weekend. Then the House of Black attacked Adam Copeland during the March 30th episode of Collision. So Briscoe and Kingston came out to support Adam Copeland. So Copeland wanted the open challenge, or the Cope Open, and Malachi was slated to be the next open challenge. But, Briscoe and Eddie Kingston put a stop to that because the House of Black were going to beat Adam Copeland down 3-on-1, which is how we got to this six-man tag team match tonight. Now, like I said, I thought this set up future programs very well. I thought the ending was great. So this was a very effective six-man tag team match. The one thing I did notice, Jesse, is that Adam Copeland and Malachi Black barely had any interaction in this match, maybe up until the end where they had a simple stare down, but they never once touched each other physically in this match.
Yeah, they seem to have made it made a good point of that too.
Yeah.
So which is fine. It lays an Easter egg for us to see what feud we have coming up next. So, and I have no problems with that. I will be interested to see how they're going to book themselves out of this little corner, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why Copeland will be losing the title that soon. And also, Malachi needs to be booked a lot stronger than he has been. So I don't see it being a good idea to have him go into a title feud and lose it.
So Briscoe was being picked apart. He was being beaten down by the House of Black. And Copeland makes the hot tag. Black bailed out before Copeland could get his hands on him. Brody King ate a series of clotheslines from Copeland. Kingston and Briscoe hit the ring, and they took out Black and Buddy Matthews, with Kingston throwing a chop viciously on King that he himself fell down, because Brody is a monster of a man. Black and Matthews took out Kingston and Briscoe with double corner power bombs, leaving Copeland at a superplex on Brody King, which looked beautiful. All six men were down. Copeland tried for the Impaler. Matthews flew in with a Meteora, which is always beautiful. Everyone started hitting big shots here, big moves, leaving Kingston to hit his back fist on Brody King, while Copeland hit the Impaler on and Briscoe and hit the Froggy Bow. But Matthews broke the count. So just as Copeland and Black were about to go at it for the first time, they had a stare down. The match broke down again, and we got a triple spear here by Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe, all dropping the members of House of Black. Copeland charged at Black. He was going for the big home run spear, and Black, at this point, saw Copeland charging in and misted him in the face, which stopped the spear dead in its tracks. And then he got the Black Mass on Copeland, and Malachi gets the victory with his finish, and he pins the current TNT champion clean in the ring, or unclean, I guess, with the Black Mist. 1, 2, 3, and Malachi gets the victory for the House of Black. Now, Jesse, this sets up clearly Malachi pinning the champion. That makes him, in all sense of the word, the top guy to challenge for the championship, being that he pinned the champion in the six-man tag team match. I'm going to go a level above here and say not only Malachi, but I could see Eddie Kingston with that strong championship and Brody going at it for that championship. And I could see Brody taking that championship from Eddie Kingston. I could also see Mark Briscoe and Buddy Matthews possibly for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I could see the House of Black going after all three of these championships. That may be where they go. I'm not really sure. But I think we know for certain that Malachi and Adam Copeland is probably the direction that they're heading for Double or Nothing.
No, that would suck since Julia just lost her gold.
Well, I mean, I think Julia's hurt. That's why she lost.
I believe so too. I believe so too. I don't see a reason why she would have lost that title, but it makes sense. You know, they were delicate with her leading up, and she finally got to the match and should have known she was going to drop it at that point. You know, let's talk about Adam Copeland out there wearing blackface. I mean, can we start the cancel culture on it yet, please?
Oh, Jesus Christ, really?
He's wearing blackface, man. That's not right.
All right, well, he got misted in the eyes. What the fuck you want him to do?
Nah. So
now my question is, speaking of the mist, you know, normally when we get somebody with the mist to the face, Jesse, they end up turning to the dark side. They end up turning heel or bad or evil. Do you foresee that happening with Adam Copeland? Do we see a gimmick change in the future for Adam Copeland here?
That's interesting. And so what I like about that when they do that is it doesn't necessarily mean that come Wednesday we start seeing a turn. They use that to plant as a seed sometimes, and that turn could take weeks. You know, slow burn, and all of a sudden, you know, that's how it happened with Julia. No, it wasn't an overnight thing. So we shall see, but not everybody got taken over because Thunder Rosa fought it off as well.
She did. She did. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it does happen to turn Copeland a little evil, and then that's where we get the reintroduction of Christian Cage. I don't know, because I think that's the next natural chapter here for Copeland is aligning himself back with Christian Cage. So we'll see what happens there. But it's definitely a talking point and an aspect coming out of this match. So we got a lot going on here. Is Adam Copeland going heel, or a gimmick change or a character change now that he was misted by Malachi? Are we going to see all the House of Black target all three of these guys because all three of them hold championships? Malachi pin the champion. Is that the match for Double or Nothing for the TNT Championship? I like it. So a lot came out of this, and it was a very effective 6-man tag team match.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Moving on, we got the ladies in action. Julai Hart, speaking of the House of Black, Julai Hart, the TBS Women's Champion, against Willow Nightingale. So Julai Hart defending that title against Willow. And this one was very short, Jesse. This went 6 minutes. Now, the rumor is that Julai Hart is dealing with a nagging injury. I don't know what the injury is. I didn't see any reports, but the streets on social media were saying that Julia is injured. I don't know if that's legitimate or not, or we'll wait to see who reports that in the days to come. But what we saw here tonight was decent enough where we got a nice match out of it. It keeps Willow and makes Willow look dominant in victory. She's the new TBS champion, and now we have Willow and Mercedes to look forward to at Double or Nothing, which we will get into in a second. But as far as the match is concerned, Jesse, what did you think of the 6 minutes that we saw Julia and Willow? I didn't think it was that bad.
No, it was fine, but Julia and Willow can easily give us way more than 6 minutes of a fantastic match. So I'm not gonna hold that against TK right now, because that does tell me that Julia is just hurt. Okay, there's no way you went out there and stripped your champion in a 6-minute match for no reason. So, but that's fine. And if that's the case, she went out there and probably that 6 minutes was probably hell for Julia if that's the case. So, she'll probably take some time off if it is in fact an injury. And they have an easy transition from Julia to Mercedes to feed off their Stardom, if they had their match.
New Japan, I think it was, for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So they can go in and feed off of that. I mean, it's not the most exciting transition because of the way Mercedes debuted. She didn't come in overly upset or hot at Willow about what happened. She mentioned it, kind of in passing, but it wasn't like she debuted by running in, attacking Willow like, you fucking bitch, you're the reason that I almost lost my career and everything else and all this other shit. that kind of heat would have made me okay with hey, just throw her in the number one contendership match for no reason. Fuck it. I want to see these women go at it. That's not how he did it. She just thrown up there for no reason. We're left to just insert the story because we already know about it ourselves, basically. And if you know the whole story yourself, Willow is not the reason that Mercedes got hurt at all. She wasn't even involved in the spot, bro.
No, Mercedes fell off the top rope.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna necessarily parlay that into this feud, but that's up to them. But yeah, man, this whole Mercedes thing as number one contender right after they told us the ranking system is back, it's kind of disheartening to want to go into this and say I'm excited for what's going on in the women's division, bro.
Yeah, no, this is honestly shit booking, to be honest with you. Julai Hart had the rear chin lock applied on Willow. Willow is fighting out of it, sends Hart off the ropes. Willow caught her by the head and pulled her into a sleeper hold. Julai wiggled out. She dropped Willow and stomped at her. Willow fought back up to a vertical base and whipped Julai into the corner. She had a big running splash, tossed her to the mat, and went for a second rope senton. Julai moved. She quickly turned Willow over into Heartless. Willow used her strength to power Julai Hart out and bump her into a cover down with a powerbomb for a 2 count. So both women are now back up, and Willow is trying to babyface herself out of this, chopping Julai Hart. She whipped Julai into the corner. Hart caught her with a big boot coming on in. Willow's laying on the mat. Julai climbs the top rope. She goes for her moonsault, which was, if she nailed it, would have been just completely just horrible because, again, Willow was just so close to the ropes. Julai needs to understand that she needs to be a little bit further from the ropes, but she attempted the moonsault anyway. And Willow got the boots up. She gave Julai a big lariat and then the signature sit-out powerbomb for the 1, 2, 3. And Willow is the new transitional TBS Women's Champion in 6 minutes. Willow got emotional as she held the championship up. Stokely was in the ring celebrating. Statlander was out there. They gave Willow a big hug. And then all of a sudden, her celebration and moment and spotlight was all stolen because CEO blasts on the PA, and we get the big letters on the big screen, and Mercedes comes on out doing her dance, and she looks like she's dressed for a fucking evening out on the town, and she's out there. So she posed at the top of the stage. She headed to the ring. She posed on the apron. Willow didn't give a shit. She looked unimpressed. And we got both women pointing at the TBS Championship. Willow held the title up, and Mercedes left the ring. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here because I don't know what AEW is doing with Mercedes. Tony Khan, Jesse said, just stated in the scrum that Mercedes is not medically cleared. So my question is, why the fuck did we debut her? Why did we debut her to prolong her, to cast her off as not a game changer when in every sense of the word she is? And she's on TV cutting these terrible promos and watching fucking big screens backstage like she's watching some fucking stupid match on Monday Night Raw during the Vince era, watching TV sideways, unnaturally, like a human being watches TV that way. Give me a fucking break. It's almost like it's a fucking parody. Like Tony Khan paid for a parody of Mercedes or Sasha Banks to come on into AEW, and he's just recreating the bullshit that she once went through during the Vince McMahon era. The fuck are we doing? She can't cut a promo. She's acting as a babyface, but really is acting heel. And she's watching TV sideways like a fucking dumbass. What are we doing?
No, it's not. It's not working. This version 1 of Mercedes is not working. All right. I mean, I know, and this is the problem with the way she was debuted. She hasn't even had a match yet, and we're already on the fence of saying it's not working, which sounds like it's not fair, but it kind of is when she's been on TV as long as she has, and she's already the number 1 contender without a match. So now you're forcing us to pass judgment on what we've gotten on her so far because she's in line to be the next women's champion. But it kind of makes no sense. I'm not disagreeing with debuting her before she's cleared. I'm not gonna lie. I have no problem putting her on TV and giving her opportunities to hype up her first match and to get the name rolling and everything like that, build stories and all that good shit. But that's not what she's doing. Like you said, the promos have not been great. The way she's been presented is not great. Her entrance music with the entrance music is fine, but the CEO chanting is absolutely god awful. It is the worst. If you can keep that music and remove those chants, I think that is the best thing for her.
I agree.
As far as the entrance goes.
I agree. I will say this about Mercedes. I love what she does. I'm glad she's here. I'm glad she broke away from the fucking cancerous system that was WWE when she did. But I don't know why they think bringing in, or why she thinks, or her team thinks that taking her from that environment and presenting her as Mercedes Moné in the same fashion that Sasha Banks was portrayed in WWE, portraying that here in AEW is seemingly a good idea. She comes off so unnatural. She comes off so cartoonish. I hope to God that she's playing a fucking heel and she's just playing up this babyface thing to ultimately turn in the end, and then we get the real Mercedes. But it may be too little too late at that point, because we've seen nothing from her at all. Nothing. I mean, to take that scripted, character and the mannerisms and the way she cuts a promo and put it in AEW where there are bullet points and things are a little bit more natural and free-flowing and less scripted. Who thought that was a good presentation of Mercedes? I mean, Mercedes is at her worst when she's got to remember lines and she's cutting a promo like she's fucking Charlotte Flair out there, fucking robotic. Yeah. I mean, you physically cringe when she speaks because she's just basically reciting words that she remembered 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's not quite there. I'm sorry, it's just not quite there. I gave it time to sink in. I know it's easy to see something and then instantly form an opinion about it, and without giving it a chance. But she's been here quite some time. Everything that she's done has had time to sink in. There's been no change to it, so this is the direction that they're going with her. And it sucks. All right. I'm sorry, but it just sucks. The gimmick, it's not, at least not in this version of it. It's just not working, man. It's just not fucking working. No one is buying into it. The chants are cringe. And the fact that she's the number one contender without even hearing a bell ring is just a slap in the face to everyone that you told that the ranking system is back and it would matter this time. No, it doesn't. Not anymore. No, it doesn't. You just buried. It's not like it was in great standings before, but making Monet the number one contender completely and absolutely buried everything you have to do with those rankings. So.
And I said this on social media after this match was over. This same exact thing that Jesse said. I got people telling me, "Oh, JD, you're being too much." The fuck are you talking about? I'm being too much. She hasn't wrestled a fucking match. How is she fighting for a championship? So I could go into AEW and say, you know what? I'm the number one contender for the fucking TNT title. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
How does that work? When you want me to believe in a ranking system that you put so much time and effort into to tell me how important it is on TV. Yeah, Mercedes, she's going to get her first match, which is going to be a title match, and she hasn't wrestled one fucking match before Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Even if the ranking system never existed, let's take the ranking system and just completely omit it from this equation.
You know what you're left with? You know what you're left with, Jesse?
It would still make no fucking sense.
You know what you're left with? WWE.
Yeah.
That's what you're left with. Vince.
Basically, it would still make no sense at why you would put her as the number one contender at the next pay-per-view. No sense at all. Now add the ranking system back into the mix, and it really makes no sense as to why she's the number one contender.
So Willow,
where's Serena Deeb?
I don't know. She called herself the final boss weeks ago on television. Where is she?
Where's Serena Deeb?
She's still stuck at level 1.
Is it the final boss? Who is she hanging out with The Rock now? What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was really gonna get over. You got the fucking Rock going out there calling himself the final boss, man. Oh my goodness.
Where is Serena Deeb? How about we get Serena Deeb and Willow at the pay-per-view?
You found fucking absolute nobodies for Jade to plow through every single week. You can't find fucking one woman to go out there and wrestle Mercedes?
Wrestle Mercedes. Get her at least one cheesy win. At least one.
There's not one woman on that Ring of Honor roster that can get a nice payday on Dynamite. You just go in the ring and wrestle Mercedes for 4 minutes.
My God.
Something. Show me a win.
Anything.
1, 2.
Can you show me Just show me a New Japan match of her winning. Something. Can you tell me why she's a #1 contender, please? Please.
Oh, but they hate AEW. You should start hating the fucking people that treat your intelligence like it doesn't fucking matter. Yet I'm the fucking bad guy.
Bro, let this sink in. Thunder Rosa had to vacate her women's title due to injury. She came back and wrestled how many goddamn matches before she got an opportunity to get back into the title picture? She had a reason to come in and say, I want my title shot right now. If they would have done that, I would have said, I don't see a problem with that. She lost her fucking title without competing. Give her a fucking title match right now. Mercedes signed the dotted line, came in hurt, and got a title match. How does that make sense?
Oh, these guys are talking too logically. They can't get invited to the scrum, pal.
My God.
You fucking serious? So Willow wins the TBS Championship. Her spotlight was stolen from Mercedes because Mercedes came out dancing and
Right away.
Willow just won the championship. Right away, she came out there. Nobody gives a fuck about Willow winning the championship. And here's the spoiler for you guys. Willow's not going to be the champion after Double or Nothing. Do you genuinely think TK is spending over $3 million per year for Mercedes to come on in and not give this woman a fucking championship? Her first match in?
Yeah.
Oh, but JD, they may win she may win the match by DQ. Get the fuck out of here. Jeez, I'll show you a fucking DQ. Go to Dairy Queen, you fat fucking slob.
Dairy Queen.
Mercedes losing it. She's not walking out of Double or Nothing with that fucking title, man. Holy shit.
Oh.
I bet the fucking house in Vegas on Mercedes winning that fucking title. Here's my question. Julai Hart is injured. Julai Hart lost, right? The whole gimmick was, who attacked Mercedes in the dark?
Right.
Who is it? Clearly it's not Julia, right? Who is it? Who is it? Is it Stat? Who is it?
Should be Stat or Jamie Hayter.
Is it Britt Baker? Hi, Britt.
Hi, Britt.
Adam Cole's walking. Listen, we're happy he's back.
I don't get why. If Chris Statlander is gonna turn heel and it hasn't happened yet, I have so many fucking questions.
I don't know, man. She was wearing dark out. She was wearing black out there tonight.
Yeah. If the plan is not for her to turn and that was just me fantasy booking, then forget it all. But if she actually is getting ready to turn, my God, it would have been so effective. I was waiting for her to do it after Willow won the title. I was watching Stat like she's gonna knock her out. Here it comes. And then nothing happened. So okay, maybe it's just me thinking that it's gonna happen and it never was on the table. If it happens, I'm gonna be so confused why it hasn't happened yet.
The AEW media scrum is now over. Thank you for coming on over here. Welcome. Pull up a chair or a beverage at the bar and sit and watch the two best here post AEW do what they got to do. What the TK was in and out. I guess he wanted to go to the bar, huh?
Yeah, man.
Maybe St. Louis got some nice cocktail bars. I don't know. Anyway, who attacked Mercedes? Who the fuck knows? I mean, for all we know, AEW dropped the fucking angle.
Yeah, it probably. It has to be someone returning. It could be Stat. It could be Stat. It could be Britt. It could be Jamie. I just hope it's not someone that's like, hey, it's Saraya. I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Saraya.
I hope not. And what happened with her? That was
who? What?
The London
is she still employed?
Dude, what happened? Is she actually not as healthy as she claimed to be? I mean, what happened?
I don't know. Listen, man, Tony Khan, man, flush your money down the toilet, man. He's better off giving me the fucking money so I can upgrade the show, honestly. Anyway, moving on to the next championship match here. We got Roderick Strong defeating Kyle O'Reilly for the International Championship. He retained that International Championship.
All right, move on.
Listen.
just move on.
The story.
Adam Cole came out.
The story of this match is O'Reilly didn't want to join the Undisputed Era. Kingdom. Sorry. A little bit of allergy problem. He didn't want to join the Undisputed Kingdom. Roddy kept asking him, no, I want to do it on my own. I want Kyle O'Reilly. I want to do it on. I want to come back and I want to do it on my own. I don't want the help. Respectfully. Roddy flat out turns on him, and then we get the championship match, and then boom, boom, boom. I mean, there was really no story there. None. People reaching for a story, that's the most that you're going to get out of this. Listen, the Undisputed Kingdom have been such a failure, a non-factor on television. Like, Adam Cole's been out. Wardlow, thoughts and prayers to Wardlow, by the way. He tweeted that he got into a vehicular accident on the way to St. Louis, on the way to the venue tonight. He showed a picture of his, I believe, a rental car, fucked up, front-ended. He's all right. He was on the show tonight, so thoughts and prayers go out to Wardlow. Thankfully, he's okay. Wardlow's been off TV. He lost that match to Samoa Joe. He's been fucking absolutely
buried.
Yeah, I know. Wardlow is having a terrible run. I know. Listen. Listen, I get it. Undisputed Kingdom. I know. Okay. Undisputed Kingdom. What the fuck is going on? I get it. Even she's upset. No, non-factor. But I will say this, Jesse. The match itself was fine. But you talked about story about Danielson and Osprey that you took a half a star away or a quarter of a star away. I mean, no matter how good this match was, because both of these guys are great pro wrestlers, man, I didn't give a shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm literally fucking just begging this match to be like, I don't give a fuck.
And it had story.
And it had story.
It had story. Just didn't give a shit.
I didn't give a shit. And a lot of this has to do with Kyle O'Reilly. I think he's a great pro wrestler. But we've been subjected to this already. And AEW just seemingly is going back and doing what was already wrong in the first place when O'Reilly wrestled on his own in NXT. Remember that? I do. Yep. I don't want to remember that again. He wrestled Adam Cole, and then they fucking put him on NXT 2.0 and started NXT 2.0 with him feuding with Von Wagner. I mean, holy shit. Bro, Kyle O'Reilly's a great wrestler, but holy shit, man, he is not a singles wrestler. He's got absolutely zero direction and zero character.
No, he is a fantastic role player. There is nothing wrong with that. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly are so much better as a tag team behind Adam Cole leading their stable. I'm sorry, that is just the formula that has worked. And you tried other formulas. Different companies have tried other formulas with them. Nothing else has worked. These guys have great chemistry together as a faction with Kyle O'Reilly as a team, Adam Cole leading that team. I'm sorry. If you have another idea with it, we'll be happy to see it. But nothing else has worked. Kyle O'Reilly needs to be with Roderick Strong immediately.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I don't know what they do, but something needs to be done here because Kyle O'Reilly on this current path, you ain't going to find me giving a fuck about anything he does, honestly. You know when we last cared? When he teamed with Bobby Fish or Roderick Strong as the Undisputed Era for the Tag Team Championship. That. Kyle O'Reilly, I mean, that was just Kyle being brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't touch that tag team, ever.
No.
This? No, thank you.
No, it's
so,
not good.
The story...
Time. You put Unified Trios titles on the pre-show for this.
Yeah.
This match could have went on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah, no story. Zero story here. I don't give a fuck how long they known each other. 20, 30, 40, I don't give a fuck. Anyway, we all know Roderick Strong is the king of the backbreakers. So there was a lot of backbreakers here. We have the story of Kyle O'Reilly, 600 plus days being out of action. I know. And he's back. And he's back. It's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. We go to fuck the bed, please. Fucking shit. Yeah, I know. I'm bored with this fucking match too. Go to bed. Anyway.
She's pissed. Like, would you shut up? I'm trying to sleep.
Jesus Christ. Kyle O'Reilly, bro, 600 plus days. The story of him coming back, man, I'm glad he's back. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, but I'm glad that he's back because a lot of what he went through, man, you know, we're lucky he's even on the fucking show. So good on that. But the story of this is basically what happened at the end. And that is when Wardlow made his appearance known for the match. So I know, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm going to get up and fucking stop the stream because of this shit. Holy shit. Do you fucking
just let her out.
Holy shit. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. I got meow, meow.
Open the door for her.
The door is open. The fuck do you want? You got food? You got water over here? You got a fucking shitbox? What the fuck do you want?
That's awesome.
Anyway, we'll pick it up towards the end here when Wardlow made his way out. So Strong connected on a superplex. Each man held on, traded near falls. Both get to their feet. They trade kicks. They trade chops. O'Reilly hit a snap German. He tried for a big shot. Strong fired up a desperation pump knee into a double down. Both guys are down. So both get up. O'Reilly went for a guillotine choke. Strong hung on. O'Reilly by the neck gets to the ropes. Or hung up O'Reilly by the neck in the ropes. O'Reilly fought back onto the apron. And Strong took the referee. And Wardlow all of a sudden comes down. He tries to get involved but was caught by the referee. He put one foot in the ring. Referee said, what the fuck are you doing? He backed off. So O'Reilly got a crucifix. Roddy got out and hit a fireman's carry double knee, which O'Reilly answered, and he comes back with a lariat. That bounce back lariat on the bottom rope. So O'Reilly sank in a cross arm breaker. Strong got to the ropes. Strong got up, hit a flying boot, followed by the end of Heartache, and that was enough for Roddy to retain the International Championship. He is still the king of the backbreakers, or messiah of the backbreakers. So post-match, Adam Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom roll out to the stage. Mike Bennett, Matt Taven there. All of a sudden, Adam Cole gets up from the wheelchair and starts walking to the ring. It is a miracle. Adam Cole is walking. He's alive. The Kingdom.
That was the most interesting spot of the match.
Yes. The Kingdom holds up Strong on their shoulders as Cole starts to get into the ring, and he gives Wardlow a fucking stare. You could feel the hatred that Adam Cole has for Wardlow here. Wardlow did not notice it. He gets into the ring, and all of a sudden, he just snaps out of it and starts celebrating with his boys. And Wardlow is in there. They're treating him like a part of the group. I think Matt Taven goes over and shakes his hand, and they're all celebrating in the ring, and Cole leaves the ring with the rest of the group, and again, he starts to stare a hole at Wardlow. Seeds planted for Wardlow, already getting booted from the group. Now this group, I know, Jesse, they've been fucking dead to rights, but they've automatically gained a ton of interest because of Adam Cole finally being healthy, and I hope this leads to some great story to come out of this, and Adam Cole gets back into the main event picture, which will then eventually lead to MJF getting back, and we can get things back on the right path here. But like you said, this was the most interesting part of the match because the only one that we're genuinely interested in here and have any emotional tie into here is Adam Cole.
Basically, man. I'm sorry. I wish there was more to add to this. I mean, I see the story they were attempting to tell. I get it, but I don't get it. I don't get why they're going through all of this rather than just putting KO in the faction and calling it a fucking day.
Yeah.
That's it. That's fine. Have Roddy have a different babyface number one contender, have this person almost win that damn title, and have a returning Kyle O'Reilly come back, save the day, and save his title, then move on to Adam Cole coming back, and then the crew is fucking at 100%. Period. Done and done. But they didn't choose to do that. They gave us this instead. Let's see where they go with it. It is not interesting at all.
Yeah, I will say this. If O'Reilly is not going to join the Undisputed Kingdom, he needs to be in a group with other people, and the Blackpool Combat Club would fit him well, I think, if they want to get him in there. But, even at that point, I don't think he's really a strong character. He's not a strong promo. But keeping him on this path is not going to work.
All right, let's go. David M is back with his second bomb after his first bomb said that it was the only bomb.
David M with a $100 super chat. Super chat for the cat, MVP of this show. Please give the cat thanks for getting you another bomb.
Don't do that.
You see, they love you.
Shut your fucking mouth now. Let me finish my work, and then I'll pet you afterwards.
disrupting the show, man. Why don't you do something about her?
She's just sitting there like, I'll spend some time with you after the show's over before I go to bed. It's all right. Anyway, we love Bacardi. She's old. Don't mind her. She's 22 years old. The fuck you want me to do?
Oh my gosh, she's an old girl.
Anyway, Chris Jericho. Fucking Christ. I mean, the middle of this show was fucking brutal to sit through. I'll tell you that right now. Jericho against Hook for the FTW Championship.
So this is a real title.
This is a recognized, I guess.
That's it. This is a sanctioned AEW title.
You know what? This match was on this unrecognized title was on the main show, but the Trios Championships were on the pre-show, man. It's crazy how things work out, you know? Now, what the fuck do I know, man? What do I know? I just hate AEW, right? I want to see them die, right? Yeah, sure thing.
So this is an officially recognized title. What does it mean and why, please?
I don't know.
What does it represent?
I don't know. Listen, Hook, he wrestled Samoa Joe. I thought that was the best match of Hook's career. I thought this was probably his second best match. It wasn't a bad match. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a bad match. They obviously had the bells and whistles of the FTW rules. They had kendo sticks and bats and chair shots and fucking trash cans. But at the end of the day, Jesse, it goes back to what we already stated several times before tonight. And this crowd, this AEW pro crowd, this is the diehard AEW audience tonight chanting, "No," or "Go home, Jericho, go home." They were chanting,
retire.
"Please retire." They gave him the Big Show chant of "Please retire." And they, amongst other things they were saying, booing him, literally just, it was not, some people were saying this was genuine bad guy heat. No. This is go away heat. Yeah. This is not good. It's not. And no. I think at this point, Jesse, you know, I love Jericho. He's a fucking legend, a Hall of Famer. He's done so much that I am going to cherish when his career is over. But someone who's reinvented himself time and time again and has come back swinging bigger and better and better than ever. He's trying to reinvent himself in this current run. And I'll tell you right now, man, it is not working and it's not going to work. And I think we've seen the end of that fucking creative brilliance of Chris Jericho, man. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, man. That's just the worst. That's the worst. You know, a few weeks ago we had, you know, was it Ripley and Vega out there, you know, scorning a fan for booing Maxine Dupree. But telling someone, you know, stuff like "please retire," you know, "you can't work," you know, all this other stuff, that's just the death sign. That's just it. That is the worst. That tells me that people are just tired of what you are currently bringing to TV.
Yes. I
think Jericho if retirement is not on the spectrum right now, I think it is absolutely time for a hiatus at the very least. And since he's now the current FTW champion, that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just over it. I don't see how this is benefiting Hook any good way possible with him being on TV with Jericho. It's probably great for Hook to get experience with someone like Jericho in the ring, but as far as what's going on creatively on TV, I can't see how this is helping Hook in any way possible.
Squeaky clean to Jericho, man.
Yeah. So right now they're calling Jericho, his new nickname is the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. Whatever this new gimmick is, whatever this new persona is, Jericho's going to have to work quadruple as hard to get the fans back on his side, because they even gave him chance of Fozzy sucks. Like, this is the hardcore AEW fan base chanting this to Chris Jericho, who was their first AEW champion. This is how they're treating the first AEW World Champion in company history.
Yeah, I mean, but come on, man. I mean, you can't go forever.
You can't.
I mean, sometimes some people just have a hard time hanging it up. I mean, they end up showing up at TNA and everything else, you know, holding the world title. You know, I mean, sometimes some people just can't hang it up despite the fan reactions. I mean, I get it. It's not to disrespect or to minimize anything he's done in the past, but you can only live on that goodwill for so long, bro. It doesn't last forever.
I don't know. I listen. I don't know where this is going. Hook lost the championship tonight. It looks like this story is just getting started for Jericho and Hook. As Hook continues to grow into a decent in-ring performer in his own right. He's still obviously got a lot to go, or a lot to do. And Jericho brought him to a very good match. I just am not emotionally tied into what this Jericho character is, and I'm not emotionally tied into Hook being involved with this character of Chris Jericho. I'm not. So we go and pick it up towards the middle of this match. So they're both fighting on the apron. Hook delivered a T-bone off the apron through a table that was set up, shattering it. And Jericho took a nasty bump through the table. We go back into the ring. Hook hits a German suplex. There was chants of "Go home, Jericho, go home" from the crowd. Jericho fought back with a corner clothesline, top rope hurricanrana. Jericho himself nearly took himself out doing this. All the more reason for him to slow it down. Jericho threw in some more weapons. We got a kendo stick in there. We got a trash can in there. Hook hit another German suplex. Hook put the trash can over Jericho and started smashing it with the kendo stick before delivering a T-bone with Jericho trapped in the trash can for a 2, which looked great. So Hook brought in another table. He set it up in the corner. He delivered another throw, only to walk into a code breaker for a double down. Both guys are throwing fists as Jericho is now getting the "please retire" chants from the crowd. He raked Hook's eyes. He missed a corner fist drop. Hook applied the red rum, but Jericho fell back onto the corner table. Jericho made the cover and put his feet on the ropes, causing the referee to stop the count. But it was a no DQ match. So why is there a rope break? I don't know. Put it in the notes. Like FTW rules, no rules. Why is there a rope break? But here it is. I don't know. Hook tried a leg lock. Jericho counted into the walls. He escaped into a small package, did Hook for a 2 count. Red rum applied again. Jericho hit the mule kick and the Judas effect. And Hook kicked out. Jericho hit another Judas effect. But once more, Hook kicked out. Jericho told Hook to stay down before grabbing Floyd the baseball bat. Hook stumbled to his feet. He gave Jericho the middle finger. Jericho hit Hook in the face with the bat. And that was the 1, 2, 3. Taz took off his headset. And he went over to assist his son. He was standing outside the ring and giving orders, telling Jericho to stop. He told Jericho to leave. The doctors checked on Hook, and Jericho was, I don't know, Jesse, how would you describe Jericho's mannerisms? It was like, he was like kind of delusional, waving to the fans. Like they were booing him, and he's holding the championship up, and he's like waving to the fans. In his mind, the fans are cheering him and respecting him, but in actuality, they fucking don't even want him out there. So what type of character are we going with here?
That's the heel thinking they're the baby face.
Yeah.
Or trying to act like the baby face type gimmick. Like, I'm doing this for his own good. I'm the good guy here.
I'm trying to help him out. I'm the good guy.
Yeah, well, what's the big problem here? Look, okay, maybe I went a little bit too far and all of that. I pushed your dad, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you a match for your own benefit. He just took his title, and he kind of bullied him into a match, took his title. He's looking out for himself, but he's trying to pretend like he's being a good guy, and it's a very good role to play in this kind of story. I get it. It's just I would rather see Hook go on to do something different than feud with Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
and that's just me personally.
Now, how much of this? I said this on social media. How much of this is to do with the rumors of Hook potentially wanting to test free agency and him wanting to go to NXT? Is that a possible reason as to why he lost the FTW championship here? And does it play into those rumors?
I have no idea, bro. I have none. I can speculate as to why Taz would want to send his son over there without his supervision. I can speculate that Taz has friends over there that he's confident would take care of Hook.
Yep.
But who knows? I have no idea. None.
It's a possibility. It's definitely going to be a talking point there. Or Hook can win the championship back from Jericho. He could take the title back, and then maybe we can finally retire the championship because honestly, if Hook wins it, why would Hook lose it again? Why would it be defended again? Why is it recognized on pay-per-view as a championship title defense when it's not recognized as an actual title in AEW? Does he win the championship back and retire it? What is the story here? Is Taz now going to enlist his ECW buddies to go after Jericho? Like, I don't know. Like, how many more matches do we need to see between these two? I think I'm done.
Yeah, I don't understand this title at all. It's like Taz was going through his garage. Taz was getting ready to leave to come to work one day, saw that FTW title sitting out there in the garage, threw it in the car, brought it to work, and then just gave it to Team Taz to use, and now it's an official title.
Yeah.
What does that title stand for? These titles are significant because it tells us that these two people are the best tag team in the company. This is our top champion. This is our best trios. These are our women's champion. What the fuck is the FTW champion? What does it represent?
I don't know. Now, I don't know.
No clue.
No, it has no business being in the company.
No.
Or on television or recognized as a championship. I'm just over it. I'm going to give this another couple of weeks. I really am. I want to see how Jericho thinks on his feet here, because obviously those reactions were probably not sitting well with him. It probably took him by surprise that the fans are just genuinely this disheartened with him on television. And I'm going to see how he combats this. This is what I enjoy most. I want to see what this legend in Jericho does to combat this and see if he can come out on the other side. Because right now I don't really see even the AEW faithful is not giving Jericho a shot in this. No. We'll see. No. Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa. This is for the AEW Women's Championship. I thought this was a very good title defense. One that was probably one of the better ones we've seen in recent memory coming out of the women's division, and for Toni Storm. The one thing I noticed here, Jesse, and I know you and I talked about Toni Storm a little bit too much into her character when she takes it from a promo on into the ring. It was a little too theatric. It was less intense, and it was less pro wrestling. The one thing that I am glad and happy to see is that Toni is keeping the character development and the character growth on screen via her promos. And when she gets into the ring, especially what she did against Thunder Rosa tonight, and Thunder Rosa, to give her credit, always brings that out of somebody because she's fierce. Toni was fucking fierce tonight. And we saw that, we saw that rock and roller Toni Storm in there, the wrestler that we know Toni Storm is. So I'm glad that she's finally differentiating the character from the pro wrestler, and she's keeping the character on screen via the promo and the pro wrestler in the ring.
Bro, Toni Storm is by far and away the absolute best thing in the AEW women's division.
Yeah.
Bar none. Not even close. Second close is probably Athena.
Yeah, and she's not even
on AEW TV.
Sad.
Toni Storm is in absolute God mode right now.
Yeah.
With this gimmick. She's killing it. It gets better each time. I'm constantly interested to see what she's going to say next when this gimmick comes out. She's killing it. She's a champion. She's the top champion in the company. And as of right now, that it needs to stay that way. She is the best they have to offer right now.
I agree. And I said it on social media. I don't see anybody right now on this current roster that is going to be able to defeat or should be able to defeat Toni Storm, because normally when you get someone who is riding this wave of momentum like Toni is, you know whether it's let's keep it going or let's stop it. And I'll be the first to tell you, I am very keen on it going too much and when needs to keep going. And Jesse, I have not felt anyway yet that Toni needs to drop that championship. I'm not at that point yet.
No, nowhere near it right now.
And the only one that I do think is capable of doing that, was Mercedes, but clearly she's going after the other championship. But the only one, and she's not even on television yet, I think they may be saving Jamie Hayter for that spot in London for All In.
That should be a returning Jamie Hayter's spot.
Yeah.
Clearly, we've established that you don't need to have any matches when you return. So you can just pop up and get a title match right away.
Yeah, she could show up in August and be like, I want my title back.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
At least it would make sense. Okay, I'm not getting back into this shit.
Anyway, this match was very good. I thought they wrestled their ass off here. and Toni retains the championship. So Rosa was on the defensive here. She battled back into a roll-up or battled back from a roll-up, rather, into a double stomp. And then she hits a double foot stomp, or missed the double foot stomp, rolling through and ran into a Storm Sky High from Toni. So Storm kept targeting the lower back because that's Rosa's injury. That's the injury she came back from. So Rosa turned things around, forearm, and they're battling with forearms, which exchanged into a slap battle. Each woman traded some snap Germans before Mariah May jumped on the apron to run distraction. I know everybody loves to be distracted by Mariah May. But Deonna Purrazzo ran out and wiped out May and Luther. So May got up and brawled with Purrazzo to the back. This distracted Rosa, allowing Storm to hit another release German. Sweet, chic music and a Storm Zero, but Rosa kicked out. Storm sank in the Texas Cloverleaf. Rosa got to the ropes. Rosa sidestepped Storm, hit a backstabber, Cobra clutch, and Storm grabbed the apron. So the referee fixed the apron. This allowed Storm to hit a low kick and another Storm Zero, and that is finally what put Thunder Rosa away. She gets the victory, retains the championship. Luther carried Storm up the ramp, and Excalibur even questioned who is actually going to defeat Toni Storm. Nobody. Nobody yet, anyway.
Nobody.
So I don't know. I don't even know who's next, to be quite honest with you. I don't know where they go going into Double or Nothing. What's next for Thunder Rosa? I don't know what's next for Rosa. She got her championship match. She did get, I wouldn't say it was totally clean, but Toni brought the storm, pun intended. And Thunder Rosa, Jess, you know, we could sit here and say Thunder Rosa lost and there is no direction for Thunder Rosa, but I will say Rosa showed you exactly how valuable she is to the women's division. She brings a sense of legitimacy. She is someone that can be relied on. She is someone that's going to bring out a banger match and a legit match in somebody, and she's going to work her ass off in there no matter who you put her in the ring against. So I thought she showed how valuable she was to the women's division for sure.
What's next for Thunder Rosa?
Yeah.
I still think it needs to be the Renegade Twins.
You're still on that, huh?
I'm still, yeah, man. That doesn't go away. I think Thunder Rosa needs to get tired of trying to get her work done, and she keeps getting interfered with people like Mariah May and shit like that. And she finally goes fucking heel, and she brings in the Renegade Twins as heavy, and she runs roughshod over, you know, one side of the women's divisions, man. I would definitely do that. It would be very interesting. I would give her like a I'm gonna do this my way type feel, because trying to do shit by the books is bullshit. Mercedes Moné gets a fucking instant title match. I had to go through all of this bullshit just to get interfered with and everything else. Fuck that. Done. I got my girls with me. They're gonna fucking cause havoc with me, and I would change all that shit up and bring in the Renegade Twins and put them with Thunder Rosa easily.
Yeah, something to kind of make her snap and say, you know what, I've tried everything, I've done everything, fuck the establishment, I'm coming in with my girls and we're gonna run this division. I like it.
Oh shit, I definitely would. That could easily turn into Thunder Rosa and the Renegade Twins versus a Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, and you know, insert someone else here. You know, that'd be great.
Yeah, like Deonna Purrazzo or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this was a very good match. Toni Storm wins, and that was the right outcome. And we will see what happens with Toni going into Double or Nothing. Who's next? I don't know. I don't really know. Will OSpreay. That's what's next. Will OSpreay and Bryan Danielson. I listen, man. It doesn't matter what match or where this match fell on the card. No, if this match went first, second, third, there was nobody following this.
No.
It could have went on fucking 18th. Could have went on while we were sleeping. Nobody's following it. I know, right? You're fan of Will OSpreay? I saw, but I love Will OSpreay. What about Bryan? You love Bryan? Yeah, let me get through this fucking show so I can go to bed. Thanks. Will OSpreay and Bryan Danielson. I am not going to sit here and go over the fucking 30 minutes of absolute bliss this was. We will pick it up during the spot where OSpreay conveniently and very sly missed the referee with a hidden blade to hit Bryan Danielson. Now, I said this. I was excited to see this match. This was the one match I cared about most on the show, just based on the sheer classic that it could be. I know, Jesse, you were a little hesitant, and rightfully so, because, we sat through the hype of Bryan versus Okada, and then Bryan got hurt, and we were let down. I know you felt like, oh, man, the hype that went into that, there's a possibility of that happening here. So you had a little hesitation coming in, correct?
Yes, I did. And I'm really, really glad I did, because my expectations versus what we got, I am so grateful, man. I enjoyed every bit of it. I feel like if I would have been expecting more, the match wouldn't have been as impactful for me as it was. I mean, again, I didn't want to put too much pressure on them. Like, I expected perfection, but they damn near gave us perfection, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I thought it was fucking fantastic, man.
This is match of the year, no doubt about it. It's incredibly difficult to top this. Osprey's not even. We're only through April. Who the fuck knows what Osprey's going to be able to deliver with the rest of the year still ahead of him?
Yeah.
This is the last year that Bryan has full time. I know he has stated that his heaven is going to be in that ring bleeding for everybody, and he's never going to fully retire, which I do believe is the case, but he's definitely going to wind it down. And this year is a wind down year for Bryan. So he's going to get anything he wants. He's going to get everything he wants, and this is exactly what he wanted. He wanted this match, and this was match of the year, and it will probably end up being match of the year. This was generational, in my honest opinion. This is something that I genuinely feel we all need to sit back and say thank you to Tony Khan for. We should be lucky to be alive to see Bryan and Osprey at their level at this stage of the game, giving us this type of match. We should be lucky that we are alive as fans to see this type of performance from two professional wrestlers that, wrestle an art form and wrestle in a style that is lost on a lot of people. Osprey, there's only one of him. He's one of a kind. He's probably the best pro wrestler on the planet. Bryan, there is never going to be anybody like Bryan Danielson. And there may never be another Bryan Danielson. I don't think there's another Bryan Danielson even now in this generation that you could even call the next Bryan Danielson. That's how great he is. This is going to be studied for years to come. This is going to be a match that people will go back on to fucking study and be influenced to want to be a pro wrestler. This was as near a perfect of a match you could have between two guys. And again, I don't even know how the fuck I would love. The one thing I would love to know is how the Young Bucks and FTR went out there and what their mindset was. How the fuck are we gonna follow this? What a ladder match! How the fuck are we gonna follow this shit? This was tremendous.
Yeah, it was easy to follow that with a ladder match. You just gotta kill yourself a little bit. That's all. They had the gimmicks to work with to bring that heat, and they used that to their advantage, because these two guys just had, 4 ropes and a bell. That was it. That was it. So, and they gave us all of that fucking drama, all that heat, all that shit. And how do you follow that? They damn near killed themselves in the ladder match. That was probably the best order of I could ever fucking have imagined. You could have opened the show with Bryan and Osprey, and then have a cool down match, and then came back with the Bucks, and then everything else should have evened out. But placement was important, and putting the ladder match after this was brilliant.
Yeah, this was every bit of as great as everybody is saying it is. If you missed it, then do yourself a favor. I swear on everything I own, this one match is worth price of admission for this show. That's how great it was. There was holy shit chance before they even did anything. There was chance of holy shit, AEW, both these guys fight forever. And Don Callis was on commentary. He didn't even get involved in the match. And there was a big fuck you, Don. Fuck you, Callis chant. And he was on commentary doing his job. Why?
Shit. He's just sitting here.
What's he doing? So the crowd was big into this. The crowd definitely enhanced this match. This was tremendous. So,
bro, what if we get a triple threat match? Bryan, Osprey, and Kenny.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I don't know why Kenny would be involved here, but I'm not going to say no. So
during Bryan's retirement tour, what if we get those 3 men in one match, man?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Or
would that be a return match for Bryan after he goes part-time?
We have to see it at least once before he goes away.
Like that, man.
Bryan and Kenny again, yes.
In one, oh, come on, man.
So Osprey wanted a Tiger Driver. Danielson escaped. He ate a big kick. Cutter on the edge of the ring. So Danielson is on the outside. He's being checked by Bryce Remsburg, who was the referee. Osprey flew in with a hidden blade, barely avoided Bryce Remsburg and hit the hidden blade, jumping off the apron. Osprey nailed Bryan. He goes into the ring, and he actually opted to take the count out, and he left Danielson on the outside. So Danielson actually got back in the ring, and he broke the 10 count. So Osprey was right there, hit a springboard dropkick, high stack powerbomb. Danielson kicked out of the 2. Osprey tried for another Cutter. This time, Danielson caught him with a label lock and opted for a guillotine instead. Osprey tried to counter. Danielson hit a beautiful La Mystica into a label lock. Danielson then wrenched the arm, which was the story of the match, because he wanted to take the hidden blade away from Osprey. Osprey got his foot on the ropes. So we got some yes kicks into the buzzsaw kick. Osprey intercepted the Busaiku knee. Danielson turned the powerbomb into a snap hurricane Rana pin for a 2. So they both trade pin attempts. Osprey flips out, missed the hidden blade. Danielson flew in with the Busaiku knee, and he nailed Osprey for a 2 3/4. Crowd was going nuts. Danielson said it's time to kick his fucking head in. So boots start raining down.
And the crowd chanted that with him.
Yes and no dueling chants while he was kicking Osprey's face in. So Osprey fought out of the bell lock with forearms. Danielson got the triangle choke. Osprey fucking countered, got up while in the choke, got up on his feet and delivered a fucking Styles Clash with one arm. I don't know how he did it, but he did. So both traded headbutts and punches from their knees. Danielson hit a Regal Plex, and Osprey no-sold into a hidden blade. Osprey tried for an Cutter. Danielson hit the Busaiku knee midair, and the match somehow reached into another gear. So both get up in their separate corners. This was like fucking dueling gunslingers at the end of their line. So they're in the corners. Bryan in one corner, Osprey in the other. Osprey took off his elbow pad. They both exploded out of the corner like you're fucking playing Street Fighter and you guys both meet in the middle of the map. Osprey connected first with a flying forearm and then the Tiger Driver 93, which landed Bryan right on his neck. Now, I will get back to that in a second. The referee immediately called for the doctor to check on Danielson. Osprey didn't realize it. He's in the corner. He fires up the hidden blade, nails the hidden blade when Bryan gets back to his feet, and he gets the win. And I'll stop there. Now, I want to go back to the Tiger Driver 93 before the hidden blade. This was not like it was on Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door last year. It was not. That was fucking ridiculously brutal. That could have killed Kenny. I did not get this same sense when he delivered the Tiger Drivers to Bryan Danielson here. I actually thought it looked safe. He didn't drop Bryan on the back of his head. He didn't drop Bryan on the top of his head. Bryan actually came down on his upper back, and it folded up into his neck. It did not look terrible. Now, he might have landed wrong, and it might have injured his shoulder or something else. But I don't think it was as serious as it was. But you had a problem with the way Bryce handled this, Jesse. Explain to everybody what you explained to me via text and why you felt the ending took away from what this match was.
It did. So when Bryce saw the spot and the story was for the ref to interject because Bryan was unable to continue because he went for the doctor. If you're the referee and you're getting in the middle of the fight and you want to stop and grab the doctor, the first thing you do is make sure that the person that you're stopping the fight for is secure. How do you do that? You go to the opponent and make sure they are make sure they're aware. Hey, stop. You throw your body in there and protect. You watch a UFC fight and the ref sees someone gets knocked out. Bro, that ref is in there like his goddamn kid is in danger. He is flying in there and protecting that man with everything he can to make sure he no longer gets hurt. Bryce checks on him, gets up, just trots away to the ring apron to go chat with the doctor while Will is just lining Bryan up to basically kill him at that point. So if the gimmick was to have the match stop, the ref did nothing to protect the competitor that he thought was out cold. So it just kind of looked really sloppy. Like, if you're the ref and you're stopping this, why didn't you protect Bryan from any further injury? What were you trying to do? Why do you have to walk to the ring apron to go get the medic? You stay there and you cover Bryan. Stop, stop, stop. Doctor, come in here. You don't have to get up, walk away, and leave him unattended. It just looks so stupid.
AEW referees tend to look like a bunch of dumbasses anyway. I hope Bryan is not seriously injured because the match was fucking fantastic. It was more than fantastic. I mean, people were chanting, "We're not worthy."
Yeah,
Not
that
these
was
guys.
good.
I mean, it's just what these guys did was something that is going to be looked at for years and years and years and years to come. Simply generational was this match. And I'm glad that it ended up being that with all the hype coming into it. It lived up to the dream match for sure. I don't know what's the status of Bryan Danielson. He was in serious pain. I mean, he's either he's legit hurt or he's the best seller I've ever seen. Because he was squirming out there. He was fucking groaning and moaning. I mean, his legs, the way his legs were moving made me feel uncomfortable, as if almost he couldn't move his body. So I don't know what was going on there. Excalibur did say before the next match that Danielson was able to walk to the back with some doctor's assistance. Now, it could be a work. It could be that he was banged up a little bit, but completely, okay. It could be a work that leads to another match at some point. I hope it does. I don't know why we would get one and done. Maybe we get this match in London and All In again, but I hope at the end we do sit down and get these guys in the ring again, Jesse. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident it was a work, just by the way it was handled. I'm pretty sure that they know how to protect a wrestler who needs medical assistance. They know this, right? There is no way they would have done what they've done if it was not a work. So my assumption is Bryan is absolutely fine. Maybe this explains why he goes away for a while. Remember, this is about the time he was talking about cutting it down.
Yeah. So
he can go away for a while with an explained injury and, come back later and do his next match, So I'm of the belief this was a 100% work and it was just done shoddy. That's all. And Bryan should be fine.
Yeah, I do. I truly hope we get another match out of this. I think if we get two matches out of this in the same year with these guys, I mean, what more could you ask for? But Bryan, like Jesse said, I do believe this was around the time he said he promised his daughter that he would step away for a little bit, and it definitely lines up with that time frame. So we will see what happens with Bryan. Maybe we'll get a medical update on Wednesday. But match of the year, no doubt about it. So if you guys missed the show and you want to go back and see what the hype is about, you will not be disappointed. Now, going into the next match, the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson against FTR. This is the finals of the AEW Tag Team Championship tournament for the vacant titles that were left by Darby Allin and Sting. You could tell that the crowd was fucking exhausted. Like, no matter what happened here, I mean, following Bryan and Osprey, not going to happen. No matter what type of match you were going to put on. You could tell the crowd was exhausted by the fucking legendary epic that we just saw. And it was a match, Jesse, this ladder match that was particularly quiet, but the crowd popped for several big spots that happened here. And then they popped and went back to quiet. Popped and went back to quiet. So, not that it was a bad match. At that point, it's like, what more could we see? How much more energy could we give everything else that comes after this? And I feel like, these four guys, no matter how great of a match this could have ended up being, was going to suffer because of what the previous match gave us.
Yeah, I agree, man. But somehow, no, I wouldn't say somehow. I mean, who are we kidding? I think I mentioned this earlier. The Bucks, especially the Bucks, when they get with FTR, they always at pay-per-views they manage to turn it up and give us a little something to make sure that it was money well spent. I mean, whether you like them or not, you don't see the Bucks and FTR phoning in at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All right. So if there was ever a match to follow what we just got, I easily would have put that confidence in this match. They had so much to work with, these two, in a ladder match. Please, I mean, I would that was the perfect pairing as far as what to follow. They were not going to fall into that rut following that match. It did take a little bit to get out of first gear, but that's pretty much every match that they do where they're gonna do a long drug out spot fest and all that other shit. You don't want to start off hot. You gotta build up to a crescendo. And I think they did just that. I think they did a fantastic job following that match.
Yeah, I thought this match was very good for what they delivered. Everybody worked hard here. And I feel like everybody's going to end up talking about the situation that happened at the end of the match more than anything that actually happened in this match with all four of these guys. So this is for the Tag Team Championships, and we'll pick it up in the middle of this match. So we got the Bucks wanting a suplex to the floor through a table. Wheeler recovered very quickly from a previous spot, returns, cleans house. Match resets at this point, and both teams are climbing the ladder in the middle of the ring. Matt ends up dropping a Steiner Bulldog off the top rope. Harwood locks in a sharpshooter. Wheeler trapped Matthew under the ladder. Nicholas made the save, ate a slingshot powerbomb. Matthew was on the apron. Wheeler charged full steam and speared him through the ropes, through the table, which looked ridiculous. Opposite side, Nicholas countered a powerbomb into a hurricanrana off the apron, sending Harwood through another table. All four men recovered enough, I don't know how, to climb the ladders in the ring. Matthew standing tall. Harwood blocked a super kick, took off the shoe and hit a shatter machine off the ladder. Nicholas returned with a chair and got a few shots in before taking too long to climb up the ladder in the corner. This resulted in FTR connecting on a powerplex off of separate ladders. So Dax superplexing off a ladder and then Cash jumping off a ladder, which was that was probably my favorite spot of the match. It looked great. So both teams are out on the floor. Nicholas had another table set up and hit a picture-perfect 450 splash through the table and Cash Wheeler. Harwood delivered a pile driver onto Matt, which was on the opposite side of the ring, a ladder bridge from the apron to the timekeeper's area. Somehow gave out the ladder, and each landed really badly down below. Harwood set up a ladder. Nicholas springboards onto it, hits a sunset flip bomb off of it. Nicholas climbs, but Wheeler breaks it up, sending Nicholas outside and tries to dive and crashes and burns through a table, which Cash is like fucking Darby out there. It's like he's being sent from a fucking cannon. Holy shit. He blasted through the table and absolutely crushed against the steel barricade.
Yeah, that was... I was pretty confident he either busted the back of his head or got concussed.
Ridiculous.
Hard spill.
So much so that the fans after this spot are chanting, "Please be careful."
Bro. I even texted her. I said, you know you probably should turn it down a little bit when you have this bloodthirsty fucking crowd out there telling you to please be careful. Please be careful. Tone it down, bro.
Please be careful.
You don't have to kill yourself for a spot in a reaction.
So Harwood and Nick are on top of the ladder fighting over the titles. Harwood smacks Nick with the belt. He falls down. And a fan in a Sting mask. Haha, I see what they did there. Sting mask. I thought it was actually a devil mask, to be honest with you. I thought it was one of the devil masks that we used to see with him. Good. A fan wearing a Sting mask hits the ring. He shoves Harwood off the ladder. Security takes the mask off. They shove him into the corner like he's a fucking felon, like he committed a crime. And they take the mask off, and it's revealed to be Jack Perry, the scapegoat. Jack Perry is returned. Nicholas climbed the ladder, gets the belts. Security escorts Perry from the building. He throws up the 3 sign. I don't know what the fuck that means. But the Young Bucks, not surprised to see Jack Perry back. Excalibur says it's trespassing and it's a criminal offense committed by Jack Perry, who had a very smug look on his face and a smug smile as he helps his friends win the AEW Tag Team Championships for a 3rd time, I believe. Now, the reaction to Jack Perry was actually pro-positive in this sense. I don't know how long that's going to last. I don't know how over this is going to be. I'm sure it'll be a little hot as we get started with him getting integrated back into AEW television. But my question is, what's the long game here? How long do they see this going on? What's the story? Who's he going to be feuding with? Why are they bringing him back? What is he going to be doing on television? Or is he going to be a lackey? Like, is it going to make any lick of a difference for television? My answer was and still is no. Well, but I'm interested.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what the plan is. I would just
three's for the elite. I'm sorry, that's right. Gang signs over here. It's the elite. All right.
I could just see him as a part of the stable. You know, the Bucks, Okada, and Jack Perry. I mean, that's just gonna be a part of the stable. What his direction will be, I mean, I don't know. He's not gonna be in the fucking main event or anything. I mean, but there's mid-card titles he'll probably get into. But I mean, again, we're just speculating. We don't fucking know anything, but we'll see where it goes. But you got to bring him in at some point to do something, and to not capitalize on the heat that he has would be just pure stupidity. So let's see what they do with it.
Did anything that they did with the Jack Perry CM Punk footage being shown add to the intrigue of this match? Zero. It did absolutely nothing for the match. It made no sense creatively. They did it because they wanted to be petty and get back for CM Punk being on Ariel Helwani and the things he said. That was it. It added zero interest, no matter how much Tony Khan says, oh, we wanted to add interest to Dynamite. Oh, we wanted to add interest to Dynasty. We wanted to, do this. TBS was happy with what we did. Sure they were.
Yeah.
All right, sure they were. What about the fucking fans who fucking reamed you on social media calling this a fucking creative blunder of epic proportions? I guess they don't fucking matter, but he wants to triple down, quadruple down. So that's going to be Tony Khan. It added zero, and I don't give a fuck what their explanation is. They can break down the ratings fucking minute by minute. Zero. Yeah, I don't give a shit. The thing is, if they didn't air the footage and they wanted to, like Jesse said, play into Jack Perry being the scapegoat, being sent over to New Japan for what he did, and they wanted to fucking tell his story now without mentioning the other party and build him up from what happened then for his return to television, I would have been a little bit more open to it, but you already got me started on sour notes here, and I hated what you did weeks ago for the fucking footage being shown. Now I'm going into this not really giving too much of a shit, but I'm also interested at the same time because I like genuine heat. And like Jesse said, Jack Perry's going to get genuine heat. If it works out, great for him. I still don't know where it goes, and I don't know how long this is going to last and what the fucking game plan is. I just don't see a long-term vision here. I don't.
No, airing the footage just revealed your cards for the pay-per-view. It just told everyone that Jack Perry was coming back.
Yes.
I think it kind of ruined the surprise a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, by a little bit, I mean a lot. I mean, but it wouldn't have made a difference in the grand scheme of things as far as Jack Perry's return. That's gonna only be able to be done right in the follow-up. So we gotta see how they follow up with Jack Perry. And as we all know, AEW and Tony Khan is fantastic at follow-up after a big spot, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's so great.
Perfect.
Fuck out of here. I'm interested to see where it goes, and I'm not changing my tune. I still very much back what I said on that Dynamite review that was 100,000 views in now plus. Not changing a fucking word about what I said there. If it gets me in trouble with them, so be it. They need to learn the lesson the hard way. I just don't see it, but I'm interested to see where they go with Jack Perry. If it makes the Elite better, fine. I don't know what he does on television, but like Jesse and I said, we'll be watching. So that's all I could say there. He's back on television, and I hope we get some sort of promo or an explanation on Wednesday. Swerve Strickland, as we're nearing the end here. Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Main event here. Swerve has the opportunity to make history by becoming the first African-American to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship and legit make history. The Swerve era is officially underway. He did make history. He beats Joe. He wins the World Championship. And St. Louis is partying tonight. I thought this was a really good main event, Jesse, with Swerve winning the championship. He got the big entrance. He got the huge reaction at the end of the show. They let it linger. They let it breathe. They let you see the genuine emotion from the fans and Swerve. They didn't end the show abruptly like they usually do. I love what they did here. Joe, we talked about in the beginning, he was a great champion, legit champion. He did what he could with that championship. He was the perfect candidate to come out of that MJF feud, with MJF being hurt, coming out as the world champion, with Cole being injured as well. So kudos to Joe. I don't know what's next for both guys. I don't know where Joe goes. I don't know who Swerve's first defense will be against. It may be Adam Cole, I don't know who else is lined up. It may be Hangman. We don't know with Hangman coming back, but this was the right call and absolutely 100% deserved.
Yeah, like we said at the beginning of the show, for those who joined in the middle, we did touch on this in great length at the beginning, but this was Swerve's moment. They did him right. Everybody gave him his moment, gave him his time. Joe got the hell out of Dodge. Swerve looked like he had family out front and everything like that. So, I mean, I think it was a well-deserved moment that kind of puts a nice little bow on his career. I wouldn't say a bow, but it's the top accolade he's ever received in his career. And you love to see moments like that, especially when you see someone that actually deserves it from everything you've seen them go through, from Lucha Underground to NXT to coming over here, and now he's world champion. That's a big moment, man. You'll never forget. I'll never forget certain moments. I'll never forget Bray Wyatt winning his first world title.
Yep.
Someone who's an underdog and not supposed to get over in this industry. I remember him beating John Cena and AJ Styles in that damn Elimination Chamber, man. And
that was a great match too.
It's a fantastic fucking match, you love it. I remember Mick Foley winning his first world title. The famous butts and seats comments,
Fucking Johnny Gargano beating Adam Cole, take over New York, overcoming all the odds for his world championship.
I think this moment lives in those moments, Swerve winning his first big title, also becoming the first black champion AEW as a world champion AEW has seen. These are things that they can never take from him. He will always be in the history books in that regard, and he deserves it. So you'd love to see it, man. Congratulations to Swerve.
Yeah, he solidified himself as a top name in the industry now, and he has the hardware to prove it. He's the AEW World Champion. This was a very good match for the main event. It definitely had its difficulties following what we saw previously before it, just like the ladder match did, but I thought they held up their own. And there was a spot on the outside where Joe ripped up the ringside area mat to expose the concrete. This allowed Strickland to hit a Fosbury flop to Joe. Joe tried for a muscle buster after the flop on the floor, but Strickland escaped, and Joe ended up hitting a snap power slam on the concrete on Swerve. So that is what kind of changed the complexion of the match early on. So Joe kept up the attack. He swept out the leg of Strickland, causing him to face plant. Joe grounded Strickland. They had Joe on offense for a good portion of this. Strickland dodged when Joe tried a big home run shot against the ring post. Joe smacked the steel. This allowed Swerve to kind of crawl back into this thing. Strickland connected with a bounce back German for a near fall. Joe tried a coquina clutch. Strickland kicked free. Joe set up in the corner. Strickland hit a diving arm breaker before slapping on some short arm scissors, transitioning into a cross arm breaker. Joe powered up and hit a buckle bomb and then a muscle buster for a 2. Joe was shocked that Swerve kicked out. So then Joe grabbed the AEW title frustrated. Swerve met him coming into the ring with a house call and a 450 splash with Joe hung up in the ropes on the middle rope. Swerve stomp, hit. Joe kicked out. Joe then raked the eyes, grabbed the AEW title, and Nana took the ref to tell him as Swerve dodged a belt shot, but Joe sank in the coquina clutch. Swerve wrenched at the bad arm to break free, snapped it back. Nana yelled to break Joe's arm. Swerve delivered another house call, but Joe kicked out again. Swerve took too long to follow up. Joe cut him off. Strickland almost looked for an avalanche Swerve stomp, but I don't know what had happened here. It looked like he overshot Joe, who was on the top rope, but he transitioned nicely and fluidly into a power bomb out of the corner. And then he goes up top and hits the proper Swerve stomp, which connected, and Swerve got the 1-2-3 and beats Joe and becomes the AEW champion. Joe quickly went to the back. Joe's just a professional. He left Swerve out there to celebrate. No need to linger around. Swerve was in the ring celebrating. Streamers poured down. He was celebrating with fans and family on the outside. Pyro went off. Crowd went wild for his finish. Strickland was shown on the steel steps. I think he was crying, holding the title close to his face. Proud in the moment and much deserved is Swerve as the new world champion. He did come out, I forgot to mention, he did come out wearing, I believe it was the Black Panther getup. So he came out and Nana covered him in the cape, and he had the mask on, he had the claws on, and then his theme music hit, and it was basically the tone was set, Jesse, right before the match started with the entrance. You knew exactly what was happening, and this was a great way to end the show.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome, man. It's good for Swerve.
Yeah.
Fucking deserves it, man. You love to see someone who you see bust their ass out there finally get, the recognition they deserve. So I hope this moment parlays and continues for a while, but who knows with the hot potato titles in AEW, man? Who fucking knows?
Who knows, man? Who's next for Swerve? We don't know. Like I said in the beginning, to see where he was only a couple of years ago in the WWE system, NXT, to the main roster, to get fucked over to the AEW and, not really hit his stride immediately, and it take a little bit to see where he is now, to have a lot of people kind of cast him off and not give him his recognition, to say, fuck that, carve his own path, bet on himself, take a chance on himself, to see him now as the world champion. Like I said in the beginning, it is probably a feeling that he is going to never forget. And I don't think that man's getting any sleep tonight, to be honest with you. He's got to feel on top of the world. So
nah, man, he's got some celebrating to do. Well deserved, man.
And that is your AEW Dynasty post. I thought it was a very solid show, but AEW always 9 times out of 10 delivers on pay-per-view. So that is not a surprise to anybody. They do pay-per-view like nobody else. They give you a great show for 4 hours, though a little bit too long in my eyes. But we will see what happens on Dynamite. I hope that they right the ship. I hope they start strong coming out of this show, going into Double or Nothing. They need to. Because I said right at the top, when they started adding monthly pay-per-views, it should be a little bit easier for them to write stories and get right to the point to go into these shows. I hope that they put all this fucking bullshit and pettiness aside and just focus on what needs to be. Because those shows in the beginning of March were great, and they moved away from that. Hopefully they get back to that going into Double or Nothing. So thank you guys very much for all your support. We're going to get into the Super Chats and then get the hell out of here on this late Monday morning, or early Monday morning, rather. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for showing up with us and hanging out with us. I know it's late, but
I'm gonna let you do your thing, man. I gotta get out of here, man.
All right. I will. Jesse's getting out of here.
I'm gonna fall asleep live on the air, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Live. But thank you all for staying up and hanging out with us, man. We know it's dragging. For some of you, it's going on 3 a.m., man. So yeah, we appreciate it. It is late. And you guys are the real fans, man. You guys are the reason that we do this. So thank you guys so much.
All right, Jesse. I'll see you on Wednesday, brother.
All right, bro.
All right. Jesse is getting out of here, guys. We will go upstairs to the OTS venue where Jesse was, and we will do our thing and get the hell out of here, man. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. Good Sunday, JD and Jesse and OTS family. Michael, thank you, brother. Emmanuel with a $10 Super Chat. Okay, Tony, you finally got a sold-out show, but please, can you turn off the lights on the audience? It's terrible. Jamel Turney with a $4.99. Imagine Punk came back, didn't wrestle one match, and won the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth. The IWC would go crazy. That's probably what would have happened. Tommy Brown again with the 27 months. Hey, JD, hope you and the OTS family are doing well. I didn't get the chance to see the pay-per-view tonight. Hope it was good. OTS for life. Tommy, it was a very good show. Burn Rell. JD, you said nobody gave a shit about Jack Perry. I see you and your boy Andrew changing up now. I didn't change anything up. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Chemo with a 5. I'm glad Thunder Rosa did not win. I like her, but she was the worst AEW champion besides Saraya. Her wrestling got worse, and she couldn't cut a promo. Thunder Rosa did not get worse. Thunder Rosa is very good at what she does. Sham World with a $4.99. Had to work tonight, so I didn't watch any of the show. Heard it was good. Excited to hear what you have to say about it. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Sham World. Mason Zapp with a new membership. Thank you, Mason. Mixmaster Mike What's up, brother? I was at the show. Awesome pay-per-view. Well worth the money. From the way the refs and Danielson was legit hurt. I hope he's okay. What do you think, JD? I think he is banged up, obviously, but I do think that they're working us. Phil with a $9.99 AEW Dynasty, the pay-per-view of the year. No. That is Revolution. Okada pack was awesome. Willow becomes champion. Toni continues her amazing run. Osprey and Danielson match of the year, and Swerve Strickland makes history. I love pro wrestling. Thank you, Phil, as always, brother. Appreciate you. Marcus Lewis with a $4.99. So now y'all changing up after throwing dirt on Jack Perry's name. Now you and Andrew changing up. Who the fuck says I'm changing up? Where do you see I'm changing up? I didn't change shit. Oh, JD's changing up. No, I'm not. I stand behind everything I said. Kratos with a 43 months. Whose house? Swerve's house. Who's champ? Swerve's champ. Osprey and Danielson was an absolute banger. Glad to be there live with Mid-Mo Smark. David M., thank you for the $100 bomb. Appreciate you, brother. Tyler Marine with 10 months. Happy 10 months, OTS family. Cheers to Swerve winning the AEW title and Bryan versus Osprey tore the fucking house down. JD, keep up the great work. Thank you, Tyler. Jeremy Lewis, 32 months. Cheers to 32 months. JD, great occasion representing OTS live at AEW Dynasty. Brother, that sign was all over the show, man. Appreciate the fucking support, man. Going above and beyond for the OTS brand is Jeremy Lewis. He said he wasn't going to get a reaction. We're at the fucking pay-per-view. Let's wait 3 weeks from now to see if he gets a fucking reaction. Script Keeper with 1 month. Hey, JD, this is my secondary account. I am Scripts, but I'm still proud to be a double member of OTS. I appreciate you, brother. Gabe Williamson with 5 months. Was it worth a damn? I have such a sour taste with AEW. I'm just joining the stream. NC, 17 months. Thank you, brother. Lewis with a $4.99. After midnight, listening to the two of the best. Good pay-per-view also. Thank you, Lewis. Orican, thank you for the $100 bomb. Trevor, my guy Trevor, what's up, brother? I think Osprey and Danielson is the second best, or is the best, and my favorite match I've ever witnessed. What about Christian Cage as Swerve's first opponent? It could call back to All In where Swerve lost for the team. It's a possibility. I wouldn't mind Christian Cage in that spot. I don't necessarily think that's a pay-per-view main event, but we'll see. Thank you, Trevor. Cam World, or Camtown Down. Thank you, brother. $50 super chat. Anthony Olivares with a $10 super chat. Hey, yo. Just wanted to say what's up to the king, even though I haven't super chatted in a while. I'm always listening. Keep doing you, brother. Thank you, Anthony. Cake with a $5 super chat. A big shout out to HBK. He's the one who suggested Swerve get the push when he was on NXT, but Triple H didn't see anything in him. Now we're here. Congrats. Dave P. with a $5 super chat. Met Andrew Baydala today at the show. Really good dude. Hopefully you guys work together again in the near future. Cake with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Wardlow for doing the run-in tonight despite his caddy getting wrecked on a guardrail. That feeling doesn't go away in 5 minutes. No. No, it does not. Alex Ali with a $2 super chat. Your co-host quits TNT and now he's at the Scrum. Coincidence? Guys, Drew was at the Scrum. Drew is not working for a publication. Drew is not gaining any recognition off streaming the Scrum. He asked the question. I should be there sitting next to him. He tried asking AEW media to let me in. He got nowhere. What do you want me to do? What would you like me to do? There's nothing I can do about it. He's trying. They won't give him a reason as to why they won't let me in. They won't give him a legit reason. So I am left with the reason of they don't like the negative things I have to say. They don't like the bullshit that I have to say about what they're doing wrong. They're only going to allow people that praise them and fucking ride their coattails into the scrum. Don't know what to tell you. Everybody made a big deal about him being at the scrum. He was at the fucking show. So what? So what? Crunchy Sock with a $4.99. So basically, TK said the top 5 rankings is for the world titles. And whatever he wants for TNT and TBS, he said Mercedes' resume is why she gets Willow. Great. And I get to sit here and tell him it makes no sense. Adam Krauser with a $2 super chat. Adam was looking at Wardlow weird. Yes, he was. Adam calls Wardlow's car crash, kicking him out. I mean, that'd be like Rock burning down Cody's tour bus. David M., thank you again, brother, for the $100 super chat. Appreciate you always. And thank you to Orican as well for the $99.99. And David M. with another $100 bomb earlier in the stream. Judgment Day, Mike Harper with a $5 super chat. I'm calling in now. Adam Cole versus Swerve at Double or Nothing. Adam Cole obviously loses. Cole blames Wardlow, turns on him, MJF returns. That's how I do it. That's exactly the way I was thinking about it, Mike Harper. I'm sure Jesse and I will discuss that more on Wednesday as we see how they facilitate things. Cake with a $2 super chat. Please, AEW, never do a match layout like that again. Judgment Day, Mike Harper with a $10 super chat. Anna J, Athena, Serena Deeb, Sky Blue, Taya Valkyrie, Red Velvet, Diamante, Hikaru Shida, Mariah May. So many women for Mercedes to face as her debut match before facing Willow. It's not that hard, TK. Den Scorpio with a new membership. Thank you, Den. Edward Liu with 32 months. Love the crowd for Danielson Osprey's match so much. And if I heard correctly, they said we're not worthy. If so, that made the night for me. No, we're not worthy. And yes, they did chant that, Edward. Dom Wapo with 10 months. Hey, JD, this would be my last month as VIP. Still looking for a job, but thanks for keeping me laughing and smiling. Thank you and the OTS family. Dom, I am very sorry to hear that, brother. Hopefully we get you back soon. The VIP club is not the same without Dom Wapo. Cake with the $2 super chat. Tears in his eyes with Danielson and Osprey. I love this shit. Denise may have a meltdown if I'm in the scrum. That's why I'm probably not invited. You know what's funny? If you go look up the hashtag AEW Dynasty, if you click on the hashtag AEW Dynasty, I am nowhere in the search on Twitter for AEW. Nowhere. Why is that? Does anybody know? All I see is the same people. Denise, Fightful, NoIQ.com. All the same people. All the same people. Even Drew that was there with 20 likes on some tweets. Yet I tweeted out something about Osprey and Danielson over fucking 1,500 likes. Not in the search. Why? Why don't I show up when I click on the hashtag for AEW Dynasty? I should be at the top of the fucking list. I'm paying for Twitter. Fun Shorts with the $1.99. JD, can we see the star of the show, Bacardi? No, she's sleeping. Why do I want to wake her up? Imprint Jones with a $2 super chat. Thank you and Jesse for being your own dynasty. Thank you, Imprint Jones. OTS is certainly a dynasty. No doubt about it, brother. Anyway, guys. We're about to get the hell out of here, man. It's been a late night. As it normally is with these AEW pay-per-views. And we are about to get out of here, man. Thank you for all the super chat love as of late, guys. You have fucking killed it beyond recognition. Thank you for making this the best April in the history of the show. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications and make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. I will be live tomorrow night, or tonight rather. It's Monday. Right after Monday Night Raw, I will be live. May even have an extra up for you tomorrow. Cake with a $2 super chat. JD is the scapegoat of the IWC. I absolutely am. Yeah. AEW certainly treats me like the scapegoat. Anyway. Go check out all the other videos on the channel, guys. Plenty of it to catch up on from the previous week. And like I said, I will be live after Monday Night Raw right here on OTS. Thank you for a tremendous stream. AEW delivered, as always, on pay-per-view. And I look forward to Wednesday's Dynamite to see how they follow up. Going into Vegas. Are they going double or nothing? Or are they going to put it all on red and go bankrupt? I don't know. I'll be sitting at the poker table with a fucking old-fashioned. I'll tell you, that's where I'm going to be. Anyway, guys, thank you for a great stream. I will see you right back here after Raw with more Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.